Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's the Nerd Talk crew back with another episode of Nerd Talk, and today it's a very exciting stream. We've been waiting on the stream for 7 months,
Yes, sir.
7 long months. It's finally here. We're finally here to talk about one of our most anticipated movies of 2025. Spoilers. So we're going to be talking about this thing nitty or gritty. But of course, we got a couple topics before we talk about the thing we've been waiting to talk about. I'm here with my awesome co-host, Tyler. Tyler, what's going on, man? How you feeling today?
I feel refreshed and relaxed. This is the second week that I've had Wednesday off before Nerd Talk, and it feels good to have the whole day off, take a midday nap, and then be refreshed and ready to go.
Yes, yes, yes. I had a pretty exciting day. My job has been insane, man. When I mean we've been getting abundance of work, we've been getting abundance of work, man. It's pretty insane how much work we got. I don't know how I'm still surviving there, but it is what it is. Had a nice workout with my wife. Just ate a little bit of Chipotle. Now I'm ready to get into the stream, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and we're on episode 166. Hope you guys are ready. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. We just hit 310. Did we hit 310? Are we past
13.
310? Oh, we're at 313 now. Yeah. So let's go ahead and keep moving on, you guys. Keep trucking along. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our first topic of the day. And of course, I had to talk about this. I feel like we talked about it, I think once they announced the show,
Hmm.
but I feel like we haven't really talked about the Harry Potter series that is coming on HBO Max. Now it's called HBO Max again. But we got our first look, our first image of Mr. Harry Potter himself in the robe and the glasses, mind you, because that's one thing I was worried about when they announced the three casts. They had, I can't even think of the main kid's name at the moment, but he didn't have the glasses. I'm like, damn, when Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson got revealed, he had the glasses on. So I was surprised they didn't do that. But I guess maybe they wanted to switch it up, I guess. But we got an image of him actually wearing the glasses, and he looks like a little Harry Potter. I mean, even the hair kind of mimics the way the books look as well, which I kind of like that. Um, yeah, I mean, me and Tyler talked about it nauseum off screen. I know he has some ways of feels about this show, but I'm very intrigued and very interested in what they will do with this series and what they will do, how long it will take to make. Also, I've been reading that they will shoot season 1 and 2
Back
back
to back.
to back, which is to me awesome. Shoot them back to back because you don't want these kids getting older. You know, as long as you guys shoot the shoot the show. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely down for that. Go ahead. I mean, I'm very interested to see what they do. They haven't announced how many episodes each season will be, whether or not they're going to split certain seasons and stuff like that. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, they're shooting, you guys. They're finally shooting this thing. I was reading also. I don't know if this is confirmed. They have casted Voldemort, but they're not going to tell us who
Yeah,
it
they
is.
didn't say who it was,
Yeah,
which I don't know why you would hold off until Goblet of Fire.
I agree. I agree. But it's hard to say because he does technically show up in Sorcerer's Stone, but he's not full body. He's on the back of Crow's head. So, I mean, do you really need a actor for that? I mean, you could do voice most likely. You could do a CGI face. You don't have to have the actual actor's face on the back of someone's head. So, I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm pretty optimistic about the show. You know, I guess Tyler getting this later or as you about to talk. But I'm excited for future seasons. These first two seasons, let's get them out the way. I'm ready for what comes next with Prisoner, Goblet, Order, Half Blood, and all that stuff. So yeah, Tyler, what are your thoughts on the first look of the Harry Potter TV series?
Um, he looks like Harry Potter.
Right.
It is. There's really nothing else to say. He looks like Harry Potter, and that's really all you could ask for. I think the costume was great. I think his hair looks great. He looks like I said, he looks like Harry Potter. There's nothing really else to say. This was the other thing that they revealed, which this one I'm not as big on. But they revealed what Nick
Yeah,
Frost
Hogwarts.
looks like
Yeah,
as Hagrid. Which,
I
listen,
think he looks fine.
I think Nick Frost as Hagrid, that is a god tier casting. I think that's a great idea. But he looks too similar to the other guy. And it's like I appreciate like the new actor, he looks a little bit different. He doesn't look like Daniel Radcliffe. He looks like Harry Potter, but like they changed his hair a little bit. Nick
Mhm.
Frost literally looks like the exact same actor as Hagrid, only I guess with less facial hair.
I mean, I guess I would. I guess it's easy to say was if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I think the way they portrayed Hagrid in the original series was spot on. I mean, I think obviously, the actor can never be replaced, but I think the way he looks was spot on. So why not just give him the exact same look? I don't know. I mean, I get what you mean, like switch it up a little bit, but I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I don't know, but again, the show, I've had my thoughts on it. I'm being very cautiously optimistic with it before I start blowing a blood vessel and losing my mind, which I don't think I'm going to. As long as the show is good and doesn't feel like we're doing the same things over and over again, I don't care. That's truly how I feel. Some people are screaming to the rooftops, no, how could they be doing this? No, they're ruining my childhood. No, the fuck they're not, bro. You don't want to watch the show, go watch the movies. It's as simple as that.
For sure, for sure, for
It's
sure.
as
I
simple
mean,
as that, bro. Get
yeah,
over it.
yeah. I mean, that's the one that we do need to look at as fans is that it's not. It's these this show is not going to take away the original series. It will still exist. You can go back and watch them if you guys like you say if you don't watch like this show. But I'm with Tyler. If you guys aren't feeling this, you have every
Listen,
right not to click on HBO Max
listen.
and watch the show.
This is the reality that people don't want to face, and I might get some shit for this. I don't give a fuck.
That this actually might be better than the
Every
original movie.
every not every Harry Potter movie is a perfect movie. There are a couple of them that are perfect. Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Deathly Hallows 1 and 2, Order of the Phoenix are all exceptionally bangers. The ones that are not bangers are 1, 2, and Half Blood Prince. This show, believe it or not, might adapt those stories better than the movies
Yeah,
did. And it is okay to be open to that idea. I
yeah.
don't love the first two movies, nor Half Blood Prince. Chamber of Secrets feels like 5 hours long.
It is. It's the longest movie.
In a
It's
TV
the longest.
format, it could be a lot better and a lot better flowing. Be open minded to the
Yeah,
idea of it being better. It is okay if it's better.
yeah. I mean, to me, you just giving me more great Harry Potter content at the end of the day because I love the franchise. I love every single movie. Even Half Blood Prince, even though that's my least favorite. So, well, at least the main eight. So if you guys adapt this series perfectly, I mean, you're just giving me more things to be excited about. Giving me more reasons to be excited to be a Harry Potter fan. So, I mean, I'm
Hmm.
down with it. I'm ready to see it, man. I'm glad they're shooting this back to back. Yes, I told you when we talked about it before. They need to try to shoot. They need to shoot all these. And these kids might not. They might get a summer break. Like literally, that's
Hmm.
how they need to shoot these things at this point. Because kids grow up faster than we think, especially when they're on screens. Because if you look at the main cast, if like you watch one to Goblet, straight they grew like they grew. Their voices got real
I
deep.
mean,
It was
from one to Chamber of Secrets, because
yeah,
everybody's voice got deeper in
yeah,
Chamber of Secrets.
yeah. I think they had to redo some of Dan Radcliffe's line because his voice kept going from deep to his voice was changing while they were filming. That's why his voice sounds like that. So but yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's our thoughts on the first look of the Harry Potter TV show. If you guys have if you guys let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. Let's go and move on to our next topic, and we got a small Johnny Cage teaser from Mortal Kombat 2 because the trailer comes out tomorrow. And are they already spot on with this marketing?
Yes, they are.
Like, are they already spot on with this marketing? Give
Yes.
it to me, yo. Because I'm not a. I think the first Mortal Kombat is fine. I didn't love it like everyone did. But obviously, I'm already damn, freaking a Carl Urban fan already. I'm already a fan of him, obviously, because the boys. He's been in a lot of franchises. A lot of people keep forgetting. He was in Lord of the Rings, you guys. He was in Lord of the Rings. He was in Star
Star Trek.
Trek. Like he was in some big franchises before he was who he is now. But um, I thought this was actually pretty hilarious. I thought this is pretty hilarious that they're like promoting his movies as a teaser. I thought this was hilarious. And Carl Urban looks amazing. I think he looks amazing as the character. So no, I know it's like a small teaser, but I thought it was pretty dope, man.
Yeah, man. I'm a big defender of the 2021 Mortal Kombat. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's garbage show. What is this?" My brother, it's a fucking Mortal Kombat movie, bro. It's either you like it or not. I like the original for what it is, but I like the remake a little bit more, and I thought it was really cool. And I personally did not mind how the first movie essentially was a bunch of setup for this movie, which is going to be the tournament. Everyone was like, "Why didn't we get the tournament the first time?"
You gotta
Because
set it
they
up.
don't want to make the same mistake as the first movie to where they just threw everyone in there and you had no idea who they were. This
Yeah.
movie, it took it, whether you like it or not, it took its time to set everybody up so that when we get into this movie, we have at least some investment in some of these characters, whether you like
Hmm.
them or not. I was very iffy on the casting of Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. I love Carl Urban, but he did not scream Johnny Cage to me. I was like, that's well, okay. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see. Then we got the first look at him, the picture, and I said, "Oh, okay, that's Johnny Cage. That is Johnny Cage." Then we got this trailer today, which I didn't even know if it was real at first because Warner Brothers didn't even share it. Some random person shared it, and they were like, "Hey, here's the first look at Mortal Kombat." I was like, "Is this real?" No, I know it's real. Take my fucking money now. If I wasn't sold before, take my money now, man. This I watched this with the biggest smile on my face. I find it interesting that he has the Mortal Kombat 11 look like that.
Right.
That is the look from Mortal Kombat 11. I was like, oh, I
Maybe
guess
that's
we're
because
pulling.
that's probably the most recent look. That's
No,
probably why they just went for it.
no, it's not. There's a game after that.
Oh, okay.
But I
You're
was
right.
like, oh, I guess we're
Mortal
pulling
Kombat One, right?
from the new stuff. Yeah, I was like, I guess we're pulling from the new stuff. But I thought this was perfect. And again, we don't know what version of Johnny Cage we're getting. I think since he looks old, I think we're gonna get a version to where he's like washed and he
Right.
doesn't do straight
Yeah.
to. He doesn't do cinematic theatrical movies anymore. He does straight to DVD movies. I made
I think that's exactly what this is.
I made a joke with John. I was like, it would be funny if he's so washed in this modern world, he only makes movies that go straight to YouTube instead of like
That
straight
would
to
be
DVD.
hilarious. Ain't no, they're not real movies. They're shorts.
Yes, and
They're
that's
shorts.
what I told him.
They're shorts.
I was like, that could be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
But I think he looks the part. They got this whole video just it encaptured the character of Johnny Cage, and I'm like, well, we haven't seen actual footage of this movie, but we're starting on the right foot.
Right.
I have been very excited for this movie. I all the things we've heard. You're like, oh, it's gonna be the tournament. They're bringing in Katana and Baraka and all these people, and I'm like, bro, this is you're telling me the things I want to hear, bro.
Hmm.
And I've been an avid defender of the 2021 one since it came out, and I still am. I'm like, bro, please don't let me down, bro. Just deliver on what you're selling me, and we're good.
For sure.
Take the hardcore violence that you had in 2021 and just make it a tournament that is game accurate. And I'm like, bro, you got even I don't think the 2021 one was all that game accurate, but I mean, I don't really care, bro. Just make the characters cool, make
Yeah.
the fatalities sick. I
Yeah.
think that I think Ed Boon and one of the main producers from the game, they're like, yeah, we both saw it and it was fucking awesome.
Nice.
So I I hope I hope you know But I'm excited for tomorrow, man. I'm gonna wake up to this trailer and I'm gonna be fucking ecstatic. I can't wait.
Yeah, I hate that when these trailers drop at noon or
I
when
hate
I'm
when they
at.
drop on Thursday. We have to wait a whole fucking week to talk
Yeah,
about it.
I know. It's just it's so irritating because now like obviously the next thing we're about to talk about when it came out, I was like I gotta go home, but I don't have enough. I knew when I got home I didn't have enough time to come down and record a reaction. So I will probably won't record a reaction for Mortal Kombat 2. I'll probably just watch it on my phone, which I didn't want to do that. But it is what it is. So yeah, that's our thoughts on the Johnny Cage teaser. If you guys seen it, let us know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. And of course, we have a new teaser trailer for Stranger Things season 5. And oh my freaking goodness, give me this now. It looks so freaking good. And it looks like it's the end. And I don't want it to end. But it has to end, you guys. These kids are getting older. Shit, Millie Bobby Brown is married. Let's think about that, you guys. When we saw her, she was little 11. Now she is married. We have the actress who played Erica. She was a little girl calling Lucas a nerd, and now she graduated from high school. That's how long this show has been out, and we are finally at season 5. And this trailer is awesome. It's awesome. I've watched it 4 times in a row, and man, the images, the imagery,
Yeah.
that last shot of Vecna, bro.
Yeah.
Is that his beast mode
His final
upgrade?
form.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Just the certain things they're gonna do with this season is gonna be wild. And I'm kind of happy they are breaking it up. I'm kind of glad they're not giving it to us all the way because I kind of want to just live in this moment because I know we only got 2 months for the whole season, right? 2 months. They shot one January, and then November, and then the rest in get December, right?
No, well, no, it's Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving,
then Christmas, and
Christmas,
then the
and then New Year's.
finale is
It's
on
New
New
Year's.
Year's.
Okay, so yeah, basically a 2 month span of this entire season, and man, I'm ready. I'm ready. Like, and it's only July, and I could say November feels far away. It'll be November next week. November will be here before we know it. Like, we'll be talking about Halloween, and then it's November. Like, it'll be here before we know it. And man, I think it looks really good. Everyone looks really good. Like I said, the shots, man. Like, there's a shot of Robin looking up at this watchtower thing, and it's something that's like, I don't know. It looks insane. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for this season, and I did a binge of all 4 seasons, and season 4 is climbing up there, man. I think season 1 is goated, but season 4 is like right there, man. Season 4 is right there, bro. It is.
I've given Stranger Things a lot of crap, you know, over since, basically from the hype to season 4, and then, this long ass fucking wait to season 5, this whole thing of we need to make every episode a movie and all this shit. It's
It's the it's
so
the it's the
exhausting.
finale. It's the finale,
I
though.
don't give a fuck what it is. It's exhausting. I love season 1. That's a perfect season of television to me. Season 2, minus that one shitty ass episode, is good. Season 3 has actually gotten better for me. I didn't really like it the first time I watched it. When I
Same.
binged it before season 4, I actually enjoyed it more. I was like, oh, okay. And maybe it's because I truthfully thought season 3 was going to be the last season, and then it ended the way it did, and I was like, well, that sucks. And then season 4 came. So season 4, I very much enjoyed, but I had issues with it. I thought the pacing was fucking atrocious in that season. But there was some good stuff in there. I did not like how it ended, and I'm not talking about the Vecna stuff. Just I don't like, spoiler for season 4. I don't like that they didn't kill Max. I thought that was the perfect way to kill Max. And when they revealed, oh, she's alive, I'm like, this show has no fucking balls.
Yeah.
Um,
They
I and
killed.
I
They killed a character that just got introduced in that season, mind you.
yeah.
Not even none of the main cast. A
Um,
person that got introduced. We just met.
And I'm sure they're gonna kill either Hopper or Eleven or Mike or Will,
I see.
whatever,
I see. I see. Will or Steve. They're gone.
or 11. No, Steve, that ship has long passed. They would have done that ages ago if they wanted to do that.
Season 4 felt like the
Um,
right time for him too.
but this season, man, I think it is one of the best looking shows from Netflix, or I guess seasons from Netflix that I've seen probably ever. I was actually amazed at, like, the visuals and the effects. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, season 4 was damn great with that,
Yeah.
and this season looks even better with that.
Yes. Yes.
I was like, you just look at the Demogorgons, you're like,
Yeah.
they've never looked better. I still think the best thing effects wise that they've done is that big fucking Demogorgon thing in season 3. That shit
Mm-hmm.
is probably the best use of CGI in a Netflix show I've ever seen. That fucking blew my mind when I saw it the first. I was like, holy
Mm-hmm.
shit! I think this looks great. It looks great. I do appreciate that. Even though I fucking hate the splitting of the seasons thing, I think that is the worst tradition that has been adapted through television.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking garbage. I do appreciate that it's not like Cobra Kai was, to where Cobra Kai was like a fucking year and a half for 15 episodes. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous. And the second part was honestly mostly filler beyond belief. I appreciate that it's essentially going to be like a month
right.
for the most part, and then it
Basically,
ends. I do wish that they would just. I get the idea. Like, oh, you want to start the year with the big grand series finale? It's like, brother, just fucking drop it on Christmas, bro. Why do you got to be difficult?
yeah. I feel like they should. They. I agree. They should just split them in half. You get the first set of episodes Thanksgiving, and then get the next set of episode on Christmas. That's how it should be. Like, I agree. It's kind of stupid to get the last part on New Year's Eve.
Um,
It's like it's
I think it, it looks really good, and I'm excited to see Vecna back. The one thing that's bugging me, they had Robert Englund in season 4 as a random nothing character,
yeah, yeah,
and yet Vecna sounds so much like Robert Englund. I'm like, why
yeah.
didn't you just have Robert Englund do his voice, bro?
Yeah, they had him more as a cameo of anything, and I
He
guess
literally
I guess
sounds like Freddy
I
Krueger.
guess there's a reason why that's why they had him in there because they knew they were going to do a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy vibes. Because that's the one reason why that's why season 4 is up there so much. I feel like just give the Duffer Brothers the Nightmare on Elm Street remake at this point because they can really they nailed the vibe of that. I mean, even down to the damn house that Vecna is in. It's like that feels like that would be a Freddy house, So
Um,
the visuals too.
the one concern that I have is this series has a really, really, really bad habit of every new season we get, we got to introduce way more characters. We don't have enough characters. We got to introduce more characters on top of the 2,500 characters we already have.
We don't need no more characters.
Please, for the love of God, don't
No
do
more.
it, bro. We don't need,
No
and
more.
I'm already seeing some in the trailer. That's why I'm bringing it up. I'm
Yeah.
seeing more stupid kids. We got Linda Hamilton coming in, which I'm not complaining. I love me some Linda Hamilton,
Mm-hmm.
but just stop introducing new characters. But we don't need new characters. We've had what feels like 20 years with these existing characters already. We don't need more new characters, bro. Just stay with the ones we have and tell the story through them. We
Right.
started this character with this show, the first season, with like 7 main characters. Now we have like 20 main characters,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them were thrown on the back burner.
Yeah.
Despite how long season 4 is, with every episode being an hour plus, some of these episodes still got some of these characters still got shafted. We don't need more characters, bro. Just work with what you got now. It's like the whiny little brat of a kid who's like, I want more toys. Meanwhile, he's got a whole toy chest full of toys that he doesn't play with. He's like, I want more toys. Like, no,
36, but last year I
yeah,
37.
yo, like, bro, play with the damn toys you have now, bro. That's my one concern. Other than that, I think there's not really much you could fuck up with this.
Yeah.
This is my other concern. The episode lengths. I
They're,
know
they're
me
gonna be
saying
like
this is going to do.
they're gonna be about hour and a half, bro. They're gonna be about hour and a half.
All I'm gonna say is, if they're that long, the fucking pacing better be better.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
for sure.
Because I don't give a shit what anybody says. The pacing in season 4 was horrendous.
Yeah, it didn't help that the characters were at different locations. I'm hopingly with this one, they're all in Hawkins. So I mean, they could be in different places in Hawkins, but the fact that you had Mike and them in California, you had Joyce and I
Awkward.
can't think, yeah, them all in Russia, and then you had them in Hawkins, and they were in 3 different locations worldwide. So it was like, okay, it just felt like I'm tired of the story. Let me move on. Like obviously, all the stuff in Hawkins in season 4 is gold.
Yeah,
Everything else was like,
stuff with
okay, like
Mike
with
and them.
Max and yeah, and
Mac,
all that. Yeah, like all the 11 stuff and then she got moved to a different location. Like it's like I can understand that. So, but now I feel like now that all the characters are back together, like in one location, it shouldn't feel like that. Hopefully,
that's pretty much it, though. Like I said, I'm this trailer made me very excited, but I'm still walking into the season very concerned, which is the same main mindset that I have for season 4. So
yeah,
do
yeah,
with that what you will.
for sure, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's our thoughts on Stranger Things season 5 teaser trailer. Of course, we're probably gonna get one more trailer. Wait, probably get 2 more trailers. We're gonna get trailer, the main official trailer, then trailer 2, and then maybe trailer showing us episode names and stuff like that. We're gonna get more marketing for this because I feel like
Well,
They
You
need to
know,
market this more because we did get a poster as well.
they said that this trailer showed. I think it's. I don't know. It's either 8 or 9 episodes. They said this trailer showed everything from episode 1 to 7,
Okay.
so it didn't show everything.
Okay. So it didn't show us the final ending because I thought like
No.
that Vecna shot that felt like that's an end episode. That's like a final boss moment. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys seen it, let us know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our main topic of the day. The reason why we are here to talk about Superman 2025, directed by James Gunn. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it right off the bat. Quick thoughts. Um, Obviously, I gave the movie a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So if that tell you I didn't really like it or love it, I really liked it and I really loved it. Um, I slept on it, thought about it, and it still didn't overtake Man of Steel for me. They are kind of neck and neck though. After thinking about it, I need to see this movie again. I've seen Man of Steel countless times, so I think I need to do a rewatch of this movie to really feel whether or not this is my favorite Superman movie or my second favorite. I thought all the cast of characters did a great job portraying the characters they were playing. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Is he not the Lex Luthor now at this point? I know everyone loves you know, what's his name from Smallville.
Don't say that too
Um,
loud.
but I mean, I thought Nicholas Hoult was great as Lex Luthor. Um, you know, I, I really loved it visually. I thought the visuals was amazing. Mr. Terrific kind of stole the show. I think in every scene he was in, he kind of stole the show. Um, you know, I really really enjoyed this movie. I know most people are saying this movie is divisive, but if you look at the scores, I mean, the audience score is way higher than the critic score. The critic score is still at like what, 82, 83 or something like that. So I don't think the movie is very divisive. People like this movie. I mean, all the Zack Snyder haters out, or all the Zack Snyder lovers out there that want to defend Man of Steel and say, no, you can't like Superman if you like Man of Steel. Go fuck yourself, because I love I love burgers, but I love ice cream. I love candy. I love chips. I can love both, guys. That's just the world we live in. I love Star Wars and I love Harry Potter. I can love all different type of things. That's just how we are as human beings. Get over yourself. Tyler, go ahead and give your quick thoughts.
I don't really think those were fair comparisons, but I get what you were saying.
I'm just talking about just different franchises in general. It's like, well, I guess you're right. DC Marvel. There we go. Boom. I can like DC and I can like Marvel. Go fuck yourself.
DC, man, it's been rough. You go back 3 years, which I can't even believe it's been 3 years, but go back 3 years to the stream where we talked about them putting the DCEU in the guillotine and calling it a day.
Mm-hmm.
That was like one of the most defeated live streams I ever did, because I really enjoyed the DCEU. Was it all over the place? Absolutely, but there were individual things in that franchise that I actually loved. I like all three of Zack Snyder's movies. Wonder Woman is very good. I've actually come around to Birds of Prey a good bit. Shazam was great. I
Aquaman.
love Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
That is my favorite of the. Actually, no, because the Suicide Squad is in the DCU
Is
still.
is that the only DCU movie that make $1 billion?
I think so.
Yeah, because I know
I
I think
don't, I don't think Wonder
BVS,
Woman made.
not and BVS only made like 800 something. The
No,
people,
it made 900. It was close.
yeah, but I say barely made it. I know Man of Steel was close too, but
hmm
I know they didn't touch 1 billion because we will
I,
be talking
I
about
I
that.
think, honestly, the only stuff in the DCEU I downright didn't like. Wonder Woman 84 is awful. The
Mm-hmm.
2016 Suicide Squad, while I like it, is a mess. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
like the Flash at all. I think the Flash was garbage.
Fury of the Gods is pretty trash too.
I actually came around to Fury of the Gods. It's all right. Aquaman 2.
Aquaman 2. I'm
That's
the one that actually I kind of like that movie.
yeah. Mm.
I know it's not very
Um,
good, but I like it.
you know, I clearly by the time we got to Black Adam, which is when they decided to do this reset,
Another mediocre movie too.
they oh yeah, I kind of like that one too though. They had no idea what they were doing, and they were trying so hard to figure it out. They brought back Superman, and they were like, we're gonna reset it, but then they were just like,
Sorry,
well,
Henry
for
Cavill.
one, Black Adam bombed for one, and two, they were just like, it's not working. It's not working. I wish they would have came to that sense a lot sooner versus all the time that they wasted from like 2020 to 2022. Like, we could have started this years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but they said we're gonna scrap it and restart it. And there was a lot of confusion. They were like, "Well, what about all this you just introduced? What
Mm-hmm.
about this?" And James Gunn was like, "No, all of this that got introduced is still going to be." It's like, well, how does that make any sense when it's a whole new universe? And at a point, I just threw my hands up because I was tired of fucking
Right.
melting my
Asking
brain
questions
about it.
and yeah,
Um,
thinking about it too much.
so he came out with this plan. Said, we're gonna do gods and monsters, phase one, chapter one, phase one, whatever. And the first movie we're gonna get is Superman, followed by Supergirl, and then little itty bitty things here and there. Peacemaker, Creature Commandos. Um, and I was excited. I've always said that Marvel has mostly had the better movies, but DC has the more interesting characters, and I still stand by that. I think DC's characters are light years more interesting than Marvel's characters. You can argue with the wall on that. That's just how I feel. I like that DC, for every hopeful and bright and family friendly thing they have a shit ton of dark and disturbing shit.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that. I've always saw the potential in DC. Every time they do something kind of good, I'm like, you see, that's that shit. That's that shit. That I'm like, bro, keep doing that. And the Suicide Squad clearly proved this. Like, you can do it.
Right.
You can do it. If you put enough effort into it, you can fucking do it. The Batman, also,
Mm-hmm.
perfect. I was very excited and nervous for a new Superman movie. And there was a lot of pressure riding on this. For one, it was the last chance for DC. Truth be told, is the last chance. This was it. It's like giving your toxic ex girlfriend one more chance. Then they screw you over again and you dump them like yesterday. But anyway, it's like, bro, this was the last chance. If this sucked, this was it, bro. You can forget about a super. They were gonna make it anyway, but ain't nobody was gonna care about no Supergirl movie or nothing. This was it, bro. And there was a lot of pressure right on this movie. I don't think I've seen this much pressure for a movie to be good since The Force Awakens.
Right.
And you got the trailers, and I was like, yes, this looks really good, but I'm still nervous. I'm like, you're showing me what I
Mm-hmm.
like. I'm still nervous. Finally saw the movie. I saw it Tuesday, and I saw it Thursday. So I have seen this movie twice. And I can confidently say I really, really like this movie. It is not perfect, and we will talk about everything, but I really like it. It is a great foundation to build upon for this universe. And I think if
Mm-hmm.
they take what works in this movie and develop it more, this is going to be something great for DC. I have my concerns with it, you know, being like, we're getting I know Superman, Supergirl, but we're getting two Superman movies, Superman esque movies, and then we're
Right.
getting like Clayface, and it's
Right.
like those two. Okay, you know, I'm a little concerned with that, but I guess we'll see how that goes as we move on in this universe. They have said that they're building towards a big event film. They confirmed that, so that is good. It's showing that they have plans and ideas. That
Mm-hmm.
is good. But I think this movie was very good. I really much enjoyed it, and the whole fiasco with which one do you like? Do you like Man of Steel? I don't care. I don't care, bro. I don't care. It's fucking exhausting, and you can
Mm-hmm.
like whatever you want. Truth be told, I like all three. And when I say all three, I mean the original Superman, Man of Steel, and this. I like all three on the same level. They all have the same score of a 4.5, and I like them all for different reasons. Man of Steel is my favorite of the three, but I like all three of them. They're all great in their own right, and that is okay. Why do you
Mm-hmm.
need Why do you need the gratification of somebody saying, yes, you're right, that one is better?
Right.
You don't need that. You need that for yourself because you have the ego the size of a fucking water balloon. Grow up and get the fuck over it. You don't like it? Fine. I don't even know why you're watching it. I don't even know why you're watching it. If you were from day one, oh, this sucks. I can't believe they're scrapping Henry Cavill. We're getting a new Superman. Why are you even watching it? Just go home and watch fucking the trilogy over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of shit that they've done different versions of that I've never seen.
Right.
I've never watched Smallville. I haven't watched Superman and Lois. Not that I'm detesting those versions, but the
Right.
point, I don't need to see every fucking version of everything. If I like the one version, I'll stick to the one version. It is what it is.
For sure.
It's like that. I've only seen the live action Marvel stuff. I haven't seen a lot of the animated Marvel stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
some people tell me, "Oh, Spectacular Spider-Man is like the greatest cartoon of all time." I've never seen it. Do I
Right.
lose sleep over it? No.
Right.
People say that's like the best Spider-Man. Cool.
Right.
My favorite Spider-Man is MCU Tom Holland, bro. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Cool, man. Watch your Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't care. It doesn't have to be a thing, bro. Just watch what you want. Why do you
Yeah.
gotta get so fucking angry over it? Bottom line, I really like this movie, and I think DC so far is off to the right start. With this being good, Creature Commandos was solid. You know,
The
we got
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker next month. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's gonna be interesting, and hopefully it's gonna be fun. And by the end of next year, we'll have two more projects. Maybe by then we'll have more of an idea of where they're going.
Right.
As for right now, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, man. So yeah. Yeah, that's our thoughts. So let's go ahead and get into the spoiler section, the spoiler territory. So do you want to go this beat by beat, or do you want to just start talking about favorite scenes?
I'm gonna go beat for beat because it's we can kind of condense it. So,
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
um, movie starts. We get the new DC Studios thing, which I know they've mentioned it already, but I hope they actually stick to it. I hope the little character represents the project.
Yeah, because I was wondering, like, they did a Superman one, so the next one we're gonna get is gonna be that character, like, so like Clayface. It's gonna be a
I hope
Clayface image. Yeah, I think hopefully they do that too, and kind of
because
give us different background too. Because I like that there was like white. It's like a white
because
background. Like if
I
it's gonna be
love it.
Clayface, let it be dark, or if it's Supergirl, let it be a different color. You know.
I love it. I love that it's the old school image. That's so classic to me. You know, but I got chills when we got the logo. I'm like, and the way there we go. Um, we get the beginning. We get a kind of a Star Wars kind of opening.
Yeah,
It's like it's a bunch of gibberish, but I'll condense it. Basically, it's like, oh yeah, metahumans have lived here for a long time, for like 300 years, and they ushered in a new era of gods and monsters. I said, oh, there it is. Here
yeah,
we
throw
go.
that in there.
I was like, here we go. This is it, bro. And I love that. I really do like that. Um, and it says like, oh, Superman crashed here like 30 years ago, and then 30 hours ago something entered the city or whatever, and I forgot what the 30 minutes was, but 3 minutes ago Superman just lost his first battle, and then
Yeah,
we get the
the,
scene from the
from the
sneak peek
trailer.
where he crashes and Crypto comes and attacks him.
Yeah,
I still don't like this scene.
yeah. Talking about
I don't like
Crypto
this scene.
attacking him on the ground and
I don't
pulling him
like
into the
this.
yeah, to his
I
command center.
I'm a little less harsh on it now that we get a reason as to why he's the way he is,
Yeah,
but I still don't. I think it's cringe. I think it's a cringy ass scene. This is not
yeah.
the first scene in this movie that has really rough humor in it.
Yeah. So my thoughts on the way the movie opens, that this is kind of one of my main issues with the movie, is that, and we talked about this off screen, but since now we're talking about it, the fact that we kind of just get thrown into the universe, basically. Like obviously he's already been Superman for a while, and we literally get thrown into him in the middle of a fight, which is cool. But I kind of wish I would have got
Eased into it.
eased into it. Yeah, like let me get introduced to this character. Let me. see him without being Superman first. Let me see him as Clark first, and then get into his Superman persona. Let me see a day in a life with Clark Kent before we get into his Superman persona. That's kind of what I would have wanted, but obviously we didn't get that. I don't know if they did shoot that. I don't know if they actually planned on doing that, but I would have loved to see us start off with him waking up in a day of Clark Kent and then get into the fight. But that's just my thoughts. But I didn't have issues with the crypto scene. I thought it was okay. I didn't really like the robots, I guess I could say. And I forgot Alec Tudyk played the main robot.
He
Number
played
four.
one. The girl that plays Mantis played one.
Okay.
That I don't know. There was a whole bunch of celebrity
Randoms.
guests.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I figured they had it. James Gunn probably called some of his people like, "Hey, can you do a voice? Can you do a voice? Can you do a voice?" And like I said, I thought it was okay. Obviously, he gets dragged into his place, and then he's weak, so they gotta use the sun to get him back to health. And I do love that, they like, hey, hold on, you're only 80%. You're only 80%. He's like, well, all right, I got to get back. I don't care. And we get we get the flying sequence of him flying. And what are your thoughts on the flying sequence, man?
I think it was better in the actual movie than it was in the trailer. I
Yeah.
don't think they showed it to its full potential in the trailer. I loved it, man. Seeing it in the big IMAX, seeing him fly, I'm like, yeah, I felt like I was on his back flying with him. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the one thing I wanted to bring up, this movie, with the way the title card came on, this is definitely what cemented it. Is that this movie kind of feels like what the Flash was trying to be and failed at it, to where it was this movie was really comic booky and it embraced it. And I love him flying, and it shows the logo, and the logo bounces off of him and it goes
Yeah.
into the title. I'm like, that's so geeky, but I
Yeah.
love it. It's so cool. Um,
This is definitely one of the most comic booky movies
and
for
I
sure.
appreciate that. Believe it or not, I kind of, some people might look at me like I got eight heads. I want to see the Brave and the Bold kind of be something like this.
Yeah.
I think it
Same.
would be very fresh.
Yeah, for
We've
sure.
got literally, other than Tim Burton, we've got nothing but dark, brooding
Batman.
Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want about Batman Forever. Believe it or not, I want Batman. I want Brave and the Bold to be like Batman Forever, only goofy in a good way, not Riddler pajamas and goofy sound effects.
And Two Face acting like the Joker.
Yes. So he goes back to fight this dude. He flies past what is it? It's Luthor Corp, not Lex Corp,
Yeah,
which threw me off the
yeah,
whole
Luthor
fucking
Core, yeah.
movie. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, why is it called Luthor Corp? I don't know. Maybe that's what it is in the comics. I'm used to hearing Lex Corp. But he flies past Lex Luthor. He's like, oh, he's back. Um, and he's got these inputs for, I guess, I don't remember if he was fighting Ultraman or something else, but he's fighting this thing, and he's got these
It's
inputs for him to
it's
counter
it's
him.
it's Ultraman.
I
He's
guess
just in a different suit.
yeah, he had a different suit. Um, he so he has all these like combo attacks. People didn't like this, that
Yeah,
he
that
had these.
he kind of pinpoint to B9, or he had
Yeah,
certain things where he can
it didn't
kind
bother
of
me.
know. But to me, that just shows that one thing that really makes me like his version of Lex Luthor today. You can tell he studied Superman. He studied exactly how he fights. That he knows what he's going to do. That's why he's able to counter and know what to say to fight him. So
Yeah,
but that
it
just gives
didn't
us
bother
more.
me.
That gives us more in Lex's character other than Superman's character.
That was kind of their way of saying, like, yeah, they've been beefing for years, which on the one hand I appreciate that, but on the other hand, again, the first time I saw this movie, it kind of bugged me, because I'm like, oh, okay, so they've been at it for like years. I
Yeah,
think 3 years.
got a huge gripe against Superman, but that's another. I guess that's another issue too. Is that he so has a hard on friend, which I get because he's a metahuman and stuff like that. But it's like I need more. I need more, not the fact that you just don't like
And
him. I need more.
I hear people, and I hear the complaint of, oh, why are you able to watch Superman the animated series and not have an issue with just being thrown into it? Well, the thing is, in Superman the animated series, they do give you his origin.
Right.
It's not a whole lot, but they give you his origin to where you're like, okay, this is what's going on. And you kind of in the Superman the animated series, Lex Luthor isn't immediately beefing with Superman. He's kind of like at a distance. He's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't really like him. But it kind of builds to Lex Luthor being a prick to
Right.
Superman.
Right.
This movie, we're just thrown into it, and again, it's like you could have built to that a little bit. Like show him saving people, and then Lex Luthor's like, ooh, I don't really like him. Like, why is he doing that? And then have him being a prick.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for like 25 minutes of setup, but just
Right.
at least a little bit.
Yeah.
But it didn't really bother me that much the second time. But the first time, I was kind of just like, okay. It took me a little bit to get into this movie the first time because I was like, it's a lot at once.
Yeah, and I don't think we don't really obviously I don't think we need origin. We all know his origin. He's an alien from Krypton. His
Well,
planet got destroyed.
we
We
thought we
need,
knew his origin, and then
yeah,
this
right.
movie
They
came
kind of
along.
they definitely switched it up. But I mean, the basic premise is that he's an alien from Krypton, and he got shipped to Earth because Earth is and it kind of has the same type of thing like Krypton has, except he's going to be more powerful, and stuff like that. But the reasons why his parents sent him here is much different, and I did not expect this to come. Which obviously we'll get into that when we get to that moment. But go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, so Ultraman beats his ass again, and he
Yes.
falls into the ground, and then the halal guy comes to the rescue.
Yeah.
Oh,
Superman.
Superman, you fed I fed you food once. Let me help
Yes.
you.
Yeah. You
Uh,
saved me numbers of times.
and then I think that Ultraman is just like, yeah, I beat you. All right. Lex is like, oh, we beat him.
Abort.
Come on. Yeah.
Abort. Yeah,
And then I think we see that this is where they show the pocket universe for the first time.
because he goes into like a little portal,
Yeah.
transport from one
Which
area to another area. Which
again, I don't really know how Lex Luthor's making a pocket universe, but okay. Again, they're trying to make it like the cartoon, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with the tone and the goofiness of the cartoon. It's just sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. It's just the concept of being flung right into it.
yeah, I mean, to me, it's like someone pointed it out. It's not they're not taking themselves too seriously, but it's not taking themselves not that seriously like a spoof. This doesn't feel like a spoof.
No, I'm not talking about the tone. I'm talking about the element of, things just happening. And it's
Yeah,
like,
right, right.
well, we
And
can do that now.
we're just supposed to accept it, right, without
It's like,
explanation. There's no explanation of how Lex is able to do this. It's kind of because when it was happening on screen, I'm like, oh, is he traveling through dimensions? Like,
yeah.
I thought this was their way explaining, like, for instance, why Peacemaker is in this universe now.
Yeah.
Like I thought that's the reason why we're gonna have that. Like why certain characters will transfer to this DC because we have this element now where we can go through different dimensions. Because when Lex was explaining it later in the movie, I'm like, oh, this makes sense now.
Yeah.
But they didn't really dive more into it.
So, we flash forward to Clark Kent with his broccoli hair and his glasses.
Right.
We haven't talked about him yet. David Cornsweet, man,
Yes.
as Superman. Just you know, every now and then you get a comic book casting. It's like, yeah, in 20 years, this is gonna be like generational.
Yes.
I don't think Henry Cavill kind of came close to that. I really like Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he's great.
Yeah.
But this just it feels like what Christopher Reeve was for Superman.
I was just about to say, yeah, he's going to be this if this movie sticks like I hope it does, he will be this generation of Christopher Reeve of Superman.
He fucking gets it, man.
Yes,
he does. He gets it.
Yes.
We'll talk about his little mannerisms later, but he
Yes.
gets it, bro.
Yeah,
And just you're watching it, you're like, it's the kind of really all the. I guess I haven't talked about this either. To me, out of all the Superman mannerisms and all this nonsense going on in this movie, my favorite thing about this movie is the acting.
Yes.
I feel like this movie on the surface is about like here-ish, and then the acting brings it fucking
Yes.
up here.
I agree.
I think everyone does an incredible job. And if
Yes.
they were really trying to make it like the cartoon, they fucking succeeded.
Yes.
I think everyone brought it. And it's the kind of acting that you're watching it, you're not even thinking about it. You're just
Right.
watching. You're like, yeah, that's Superman. That's Lois Lane. That
Right.
is Lex Luthor. It's so good. It's so good. Speaking of which, we get our first intro to Lois Lane, Rachel Brosnahan. Something I forgot what her name is. I thought it was Brosnan, and it's not. It's something else. Fucking great. She is
Yes.
great. I
Yes.
think I prefer the original Lois Lane. I forgot what her name is. I think she's excellent too. I love her. I love her relationship with Clark in the original Superman is so cute. But um this version of Lois was great. This was kind of like the cartoon, pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly what I wanted. Um and they're talking about the incident, and Clark is like, oh, he doesn't seem like such a bad guy. I got to interview him really quick. And Lois
Yeah.
is like, you got to interview him? He was like,
Right.
yeah, it was only for like 3 minutes. I got there. He's not that bad of a guy.
Oh, mind you, he got the front page. So he got front
Yes,
page of the day plan, and everyone's excited. Everyone's happy. Hey, you got the front page. He get a call from my Pa Kent, which this is another thing where I was upset. I'm like, we are just thrown into this. Like we just like I said, that's why I kind of wish we would have got more set up with him as Clark, other than just us throwing him
this
in as Superman. Even though the movie's called Superman, but I mean, I would want to see him be Clark first and then be Superman.
this scene, James Gunn. This is one of those James Gunn scenes where I was like, okay, bro, like, all right,
Move on. Move
yes,
on.
please. Like, I get it. You want to establish, like, oh yeah, people give him shit at the Daily Planet, but then you also have Jimmy Olsen, who's like one of his best supporters. He's like, hey, look
Mm-hmm.
at you got the front page.
Right.
But they kept this scene with his parents just going on forever. I'm like, oh my god, okay, bro, I get it, and it wasn't really that funny either.
Right.
I was just like, okay, all right, next scene. Um, I think that the next scene is when Lex goes to the Fortress of Solitude because the engineer was there. Which
Mm-hmm.
the first time,
Well, the
this,
engineer goes there and sees
yeah,
that
she isn't
she's like,
there in the
oh,
beginning.
oh, like, oh my god, it's in the ice. How do we get there? And Lex is like, oh, I got a way to get there.
So they go to the Fortress of Solitude, which the first time I do like. This is why I like the reveal later because I was like, oh, that makes the beginning make sense. Because the
Right.
first time I watched it, I was like,
How
how
did he
the
do that?
fuck did yeah? I was like, how did he get in there?
Yeah.
I thought the movie was gonna be like he just got in. It's like no, that's
Right.
the Fortress of Solitude, bro.
Right.
Um, so he gets into the Fortress of Solitude, and the robots are like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And they obliterate the robots, and
Right.
Crypto attacks them, and then they put a little mask thing on Crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they're like, "Oh, we found this," and they steal the message. Um, from his parents. They say in the beginning that there's a message from his parents,
But
but
it
it's
got
like it's
damaged. It's
damaged.
damaged. So the whole message
Um,
is incomplete. He only heard a certain part of the message.
and then he's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" Superman comes back. He's like, "Oh, we got something to distract him," and they unleash this little fucking kaiju
No.
looking thing.
Yeah, it's small, and I love that. He's like, oh, it's a small little thing. He's like, it will get
It'll grow.
bigger. It'll
And then
grow.
the next scene, it's big.
It's humongous, right?
But before that, we get the interview scene with Lois and Clark.
Yes.
Which we saw like 80% of this in the trailer, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
great. Well, we get to reveal that they're dating,
Right,
which
because it in the way it's portrayed in the beginning of the scene, it does seem like they really not saying they don't like each other, but they have some type of
which
camaraderie
I'm glad
where
that
it's
they
like
hid that from the trailers. Like they showed them together, but I was like, oh, that's probably the end of the movie.
right,
And I thought it was cute that they hid it. It is a nice surprise. Like, funnily enough, the second time I saw it, my theater erupted when they kissed. I was like,
yeah. But
Jesus Christ.
I want to comment on their relationship. I love that their relationship isn't perfect. It's
Yeah,
not peaches and cream with how they establish their morals and what they think. And you can see it all within the interview. Even though she is interviewing him as Superman, she knows he's Superman and Clark Kent. So, she sees that the way he thinks isn't the same way she thinks. Because obviously after the interview, she said, I knew this wasn't going to work. And he's confused, like, what do you mean? And he just walks out. But getting back to the interview, I love this entire sequence.
it's
I love
great.
it. I mean, probably has the best line in that where he says, like, people were going to die. And obviously we hear that in the trailer, but
Yeah,
it just hits differently in the movie when you hear more of the conversation. Because it's not just that he keeps stopping and trying to explain himself of what he was doing, and she's looking like, no, you got to think of it like this. You literally enter a country illegally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't just fly to a place and think it's okay. You can't do that. You can't go to anywhere without consulting with the government. You just don't have that free will. You
Yeah,
still
and then he's
are.
like, "Oh, did you talk to the president?" Yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
took him outside and held him against the
right.
cactus.
You tortured him. Oh, I didn't torture him.
The needles were like that.
Spike's like this big.
Oh, shit. What the
I
hell is
love
it?
that I love that he's getting frustrated. Like, we see it in the trailer. Like, do you talk to the president? Like, no. Like, no, I didn't do any of that.
I like how he's kind of incorporating his Superman mannerisms in there, and she doesn't know that, and she's making
Yeah.
fun of him for. She's like, "Oh, you talk to yourself in the third, talk about yourself in the third
Third
person."
person, yeah.
He's like, "Oh, it's something I'm trying." She's like,
Yeah.
"That's kind of stupid, but okay."
Or the fact that he changes his voice. Like, he has a very high pitched voice at the moment. Then once it's changed to, like, all right, Superman, just his voice gets real deep. I'm
Yeah,
like, I love that.
it's
I
like,
love that.
I do like also how he doesn't understand how this works. He says things. She asks him about things that he told her in private, and he's like, well, "Wait, I told you that in private. Why are you saying that?"
Right.
And she's like, "Well, cause it's important. Like,
Right.
it's an interview."
He said, when you say off the record, you have to say off the record.
So he storms out, and then we get the big kaiju fight. This was cool. This was very good. We haven't talked about it yet. The score to this movie. I was very on the fence about them using the John
Original.
Williams score and remixing it because I was like,
I meant to ask you that.
one,
I meant to
I
ask you
want
how
him
you
to
feel
have
that he doesn't have his own theme.
like I wanted him to have like the Man of Steel glazing sometimes is ridiculous, but the one thing that you could say no matter what that Hans Zimmer score that is probably one of if that and Sam Raimi Spider Man best
Yes.
superhero scores of all
Yes.
time.
I agree.
Like, it's not even a question.
I agree.
But Sam Raimi gets the cheat because he has three amazing scores.
Right. Right.
Even though Danny Elfman didn't do the third one, the 1 to 3 is still fucking amazing.
Yes.
But this I thought this was cool, and I do like how they kind of hammer home this theme in the movie. Like, oh yeah, Superman. He says like, oh yeah, I'm punk rock, and he's like, and Lois is like, what are you talking about?
Right.
He's like, oh yeah, I listen to these bands all the time. He's like, those aren't that's not punk rock. Those are pop radio.
Right.
But I do like how they kind of push this thing. Like, yeah, he's punk rock, and the Superman theme is a punk rock version of the John Williams theme. I'm like, that's kind of clever. I do actually kind of really like that. I think it's great. I think it's really cool. I think when they use it in the action sequences and you hear it, but hear the new versions of his themes,
right?
It's awesome. It's awesome. The best usage of it is later in the movie,
right?
But even in this scene, we get a little bit of it. I'm like, it's great. It's good stuff. It's very cool.
I want to give a shout out to my city. Obviously, the movie was shot in Cleveland, or at least obviously some of these sequences, and they made my city look good, man. They did. Like, I was looking like Cleveland. I kept saying it, like, that's Cleveland, that's Cleveland, that's Cleveland every time. Like, oh, even the shot where he was fighting Ultraman, like the shot where he lands, when the guy helps him, I'm like, that's Cleveland. I know exactly where that was shot. That's why I kind of wish when you're here, I could take you to those places. They kind of obviously you see they remove certain things, but it is pretty spot on. They really didn't change much from Cleveland to Metropolis, but yeah, I love looking at it. Trust me. But yeah, go ahead.
This fight was cool.
Yes.
This fight was very cool.
Hey buddy, guys up here.
Yeah, I love it. I like how he does that for a reason. The dude is blowing fire into the building, and he saves the kaiju from like bulldozing the building. And he's like, oh, okay, he blew fire into the building. All right, take it up.
Right.
I love it. I love it how the camera fucking follows him, and it follows him flying around.
Yeah.
And then the Justice Gang shows up, which I thought I thought they were the Justice Society, but I'm like, no, that's the group from Black Adam. So
right. Established their name yet, because they're still trying to figure out what they want to be called, because he keep changing it every single time, or he keeps throwing out Justice Gang and they don't like the name. They're like, that name is stupid.
But I know that's not what they're called in the comics. I
Right,
don't know what I don't know. Like they're not the Justice League.
right.
I don't know what they're. I don't know what they're called, and I feel goofy calling them Justice Gang. I'm like, I know that's not what they're called in the comics,
Well,
but
we were calling them that because that's what Green
yeah,
Lantern or Guy
yeah, I
Gardner wants
guess.
them to be called. So
Um,
that's what we're calling
I
it.
guess. Justice Gang. I'll talk about each of the three from interesting to did
Least
absolutely
interesting.
nothing. Mr. Terrific. That's my
Yes,
goat.
yes, sir.
I do appreciate that, in this big, grand Superman movie, James Gunn still taps into that creativity of taking a character nobody fucking knows and making
Yes,
them the highlight.
yes,
Because
yes,
everyone came out of this more people were talking about Mr. Terrific than they were Superman in this movie.
yes.
That shit is crazy.
His scene, obviously, we're not there yet, but his scene is probably one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah, it's good. I thought he was great. This is I forgot what his name was from First Class, but this is the guy from First Class
Yes,
that dies first.
yes.
Um, is also one of the vampire dudes from Twilight, which is funny.
He is
Yeah, yes.
with the
The dude with
dreads.
the dreads, yeah.
Yes,
But he was great. He was great. He had a lot of charisma. And it's it's something you pay attention to, that this is a character that he's not supposed to have that much charisma, but the
right.
performance is
Yeah,
elevating. He's
he
great.
delivers. He delivers the way he's supposed to be.
He's great, man. He was cool, and I think people were saying that he's supposed to lead like a group, like the Terrifics or something.
Hmm.
If this movie is a catalyst for that, give me that, please.
Right.
I'll take that and happily. Um, Guy Gardner. This is the one I was nervous about. I
Yeah.
love Nathan Fillion to death, but I was nervous. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. That haircut ain't doing it for me.
Yeah,
The haircut didn't bother
I
me.
love they pointed out. I love that they say something about it. It's like that
Yeah.
haircut should be banned.
Uh, but the haircut didn't bother me after a while. I was like, yeah, it's his hair, whatever. I thought he was great. I thought he was
Yes,
a lot of fun. Is he basically Star Lord but Green Lantern? Yes.
yes,
I don't know if he's like that in the comics, but I liked him. I thought he was very funny. I thought he had great chemistry with everybody, and he's gonna be in the Lantern show with
hmm
the other two, which I don't know how that's gonna work because they've put an emphasis that show's gonna be very grounded and serious,
yeah,
and that is not Guy Garner at all. But
yeah,
maybe that's the point.
right.
I don't know, but I'm excited to see more of him. I thought all his powers and stuff looked really cool. I thought it was very creative. I'll say
Yeah,
this: of this the best live action Green Lantern we ever got.
yes, 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 for sure,
The
for
the
sure.
bar is not high, but
Right.
and then we had
He didn't get a CGI suit.
yeah, then we got Bird Lady.
Hawk Girl.
Yeah, the Bird Lady. Listen, Isabella Merced is riding a wave of momentum like
Yes,
no
she
tomorrow.
is for
Love that
sure.
woman.
She's
Which
gorgeous.
I didn't used to, because before last year with Romulus, I was like, yo, she is awful, because she was in Madam Web. She was awful in that.
Hmm.
Um,
So I didn't see Madam Web.
so we got Romulus. She was amazing in that. She was also in another movie from last year that nobody really saw. I saw it. It was fucking incredible. And then The Last of Us season 2, but she didn't get nominated for an Emmy. That's terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
But Abby got nominated for an Emmy. The girl that was barely in the fucking show,
What, 2 episodes?
I guess. Not that Caitlin Dever doesn't deserve an Emmy, but come on, she was barely there. I think Catherine O'Hara got one too. I'm like, hello, Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey,
Right.
Isabella Merced. Like, come on.
Don't give it to the main actors.
Anyway, um, was she bad in this movie? No, she was charming. She was great. It's just she didn't do anything.
No.
She had one scene at the end that was kind of like okay, but we knew nothing about. We got so much character with Mister Terrific and Green Lantern. We got nothing with her.
Yeah.
She's just there.
Yeah. And I don't know whether or not that's exactly what they wanted to do, just to have her there, you know, because she's the Gen Z. She's the, she's the, obviously she's the youngest person there. So, um, was that what how her character was supposed to be? That she was that one on the side who didn't care, didn't really want to be involved and stuff like that. So I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Maybe she's uninteresting without Hawkman there. I don't know. I don't know too much about the only information I have about this character was from Legends of Tomorrow when both Hawkman and Hawkgirl were there at the same time. So I don't know. But this character was kind of uninteresting to me. I wish when later when Green Lantern was giving him shit for wanting to go save Superman, I wish both of them went with Lois to help
Right,
because it's like okay, it's showing that you two care about him, and Green Lantern's just being an ass.
right.
But it is what it is. I'm sure we're going to see more of her, so I think it'll be fine. Um, so yeah, we get this action sequence. I thought it was fun. It was a fun little thing. We get Green Lantern doing this disgusting fucking thing where like he shoots this like needle thing at the kaiju and it's just like poking the eyes. I was like, ew.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like Sam Raimi saw that and smiled, huh? Um, and then in the midst of this, Superman saves the little girl. That shot is
Yes.
awesome. He saves another lady too. And
Yeah.
this was the first time the Superman mannerisms came out, and I said, "He fucking gets it, bro."
Yes, he
He
does.
saved the girl and was like, "Oh, slow deep breaths, man. You'll be
Right.
okay." I was like, "He gets it. He gets it, man." Superman saves a squirrel
He does.
and a dog. He saves a
Yes.
squirrel. I said, bro, this is the goofiest shit ever. I love it, bro. I don't
He
care.
don't he don't tolerate roadkill, bro. He don't tolerate it.
I don't care. Like I love it. We even got in the original Superman. He literally saves a cat out of a tree, bro. Like that is the dumb, corny shit I want in my Superman, bro. I'm sorry. So they take down this kaiju thing. Well, the Justice Gang kills it, and then he was trying not to kill it.
Yeah, he was trying to like let's take it away and take it
Put it in an
somewhere.
intergalactic zoo or something.
Yeah, like
It's like, how do you know an intergalactic zoo even exists? And if it did, who's carrying that thing? You could
right,
barely stop it yourself.
right,
They were like, oh, so like this fucking guy. Green Lantern's like, why do you got to be that guy?
right.
Like, that was funny. He's like, oh, don't worry, the Justice Gang is here. Um, so they're all, and I love this simple shot, man. This little girl runs up to him and he picks her up. He's like, oh, is everyone okay? I'm like,
Yeah, he kind of gets the hero moment. Where everyone's
like,
cheering him on and
bro,
stuff like
he
that.
fucking gets it,
Yeah,
bro. Like, people don't understand how, it's a little thing, but it adds so much character, bro. Like, that,
yes.
I'm gonna say it again. That is Superman, bro. Like, that is Superman, bro. The man in tights flying in the red cape, that's him, bro. I don't understand why we've been like. I understand Zack Snyder's version is like dark and brooding and shit, but I don't understand why we got so far away from that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, for sure.
So then everyone starts looking at him and they're like, oh, what's the problem? And they're playing this message, and Lex Luthor's on this talk show, and he's like, oh, we found some incriminating footage. Let's take a look. And they play the message, and basically in a nutshell, they're like, oh, we're gonna send him to Earth to be there or whatever. And I think they said something about like Earth being cool or something. I forgot what the positive. They said something positive, and he's
He
like, "Well,
said
what's
something
wrong?"
positive. Yep, he said you are there to you will
Yeah,
be
he's
more
like,
powerful than
"Oh,"
him. He
he's
says
like,
it's
"What's wrong with that?"
yeah, very humble people or something like that. They say something like that.
Yeah, he's like, "What's wrong with that?" And then the message goes on to say, "Oh, we're gonna send you to rule over them or something."
Yep.
In a nutshell, and then they all turn on him. This is probably the most I'm going to complain later. I don't like this. I'm just gonna. I don't like this.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm sure there's some comic book Detective Comics number 57779 that is like, no, in this version, his parents were like that. I don't like this. I don't know how they're gonna build on this later. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe, and if we get Superman 2, they fix it.
Yeah. So
Right now,
when
I don't like this, bro.
when this got revealed, I thought it was Lex messing with the
So
message.
did I.
I thought that's what it was, and when I don't know if it was Mr. Terrific, but he says no,
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's not been fabricated or anything. And I was like, wow, they're really going to go with this story that uh, Clark Kent's real parents, Kal-El's real parents were a holes. Basically, they were like, we are sending you there to be a dick. We want you to rule that planet
And this is the thing,
in
right?
our name.
This is the thing. I like the decision for Superman's character because then it makes him question, like, oh man, like what's my purpose? And it
Right,
also makes him like, oh, I need to prove myself.
right,
That's fine. I'm
right.
cool with that.
But I believe that's what the intent was. The intent was him to overcome that. He's better than that. That's why we get that final monologue.
It is, but I also there's always gonna be this thing. It's like, oh yeah, his parents are dicks. So it's like,
Right.
well, what does that mean? The Kryptonians are dicks too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't really like that because,
I think that's why their planet got destroyed because they were
well,
being dicks. If you watch
and,
Man of Steel, you clearly understand that.
yeah. But it's like it's a thing where it's like, well, Zod and all of them, they were dicks amongst a fairly peaceful race.
Right,
Now it's like, well, if they're all dicks, what makes Zod and all of them so different?
right,
I don't really like that. I don't. That's I really wish they would have just revealed, like, yeah, we tampered with it, and actually, like, we sent him there because we wanted him to live and grow and learn to
right,
be to have a life.
right.
I don't like that, bro. That doesn't sit right with me. I was like,
I feel you, man. I feel it. I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
I
When
don't know.
like I
Maybe
said,
it's because we've had the same for so many years,
yeah.
and
I
they
mean,
finally changed it.
it goes back to even like so they've done a story like this with obviously the Batman. The Batman did kind of the same thing where Bruce Wayne's
Yeah, they did.
father, his parents were corrupt.
Hmm.
I was never a fan of that. I didn't like that everything Bruce Wayne was doing was for the death of his parents to find out his parents were actually working for the mob. Like
Well,
I
that
never
and they
liked
said
that.
that his mom was in Arkham too.
Right. Because so I'm gonna take it back because even in the Telltale game, spoiler if you guys haven't played the game, that's revealed in the game that his parents worked with Falcone or worked with Falcone worked
See,
with
but
them.
the counter to that is that they do spend time on that.
Right, right,
So it's like they don't just say it and it's
right,
you're left to sit with it the whole movie. They
right,
do develop that, and
right,
eventually Alfred gives him a reason as to why he was
right.
corrupt.
Same.
You know, so that one's not nearly as bad. And honestly, I even forgot about it before you even said that. Truth be
Yeah, but I'm
told,
just saying but that's why it's because like I said, I know that's another version. There's other versions where he's not like that. Like
yeah.
Thomas Wayne is a good man. But I think now we've gotten to the point where you have our heroes have to have some type of conflict. They can't. There has to be some type of conflict in their lives for them to overcome their morals. So that's why I believe in this movie they kind of did that. Because if it was just a simple story of his parents sent him here to be a good man, or because they want him to live, it's like okay, what is the rest of the conflict besides him fighting Lex? But Lex's whole goal was to find something dirty on him. Was to destroy Superman's character. That's why he's going at him so hard. So
I don't know, man. It's just like I said, it's something that I'm like, I don't. I would be interested to see where it goes,
for sure,
but I'm concerned about them doing that.
for sure.
That's But so now they walk into this room and Green Lantern kind of hides the windows from,
Mm-hmm.
and um he's like, "Oh, what was that about?" And he's like, "Oh, how did they even get that message?" And he realizes what happened and he busts out of the room.
Yeah, you go straight to the Fortune of Solitude.
Um Funny story. I didn't tell you this until right now. The first time I saw this movie, the projector cut out. Yeah.
At this scene, after the scene,
He gets to the Fortress of Solitude, and it's when the robots stab at his neck, and
right?
he asks him, "Oh, what's going on?" And he's looking for crypto, and screen went black.
Oh, they out of it so pissed. That happened one
and
time when I went to the movies.
and I was expecting it to come back on immediately. It didn't, and I was like, what the fuck? And we were kind of all just sitting there
How
about.
long?
It was like 5 minutes,
Yeah, that's still a long time.
and we were all sitting there like, that's not funny,
Hello,
bro. That's not
hello.
funny. The sound was still going. We're like,
Oh wow!
that's not funny, bro. I'm sitting in a dark room with like 200 people in there. That's
And
not
listening to
funny.
the audio but not seeing the picture. Terrible.
So eventually it took them, it didn't take them forever, but it took them a while. They finally fixed it. And we were like, yeah. So he, he's looking for crypto. He doesn't find him. He's like, oh shit, Lex took the dog. And he flies back, which I kind of like that they show how fucking fast he is. He flies
Yeah,
from Metropolis to the Fortress of Solitude,
yeah,
back to Metropolis in a span
right.
of like 5 minutes. It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. Um,
Barges in Lex's office like it's nothing. Like just
Where's
boom.
the dog?
Yeah.
The dog, Luther. You took the dog. Where's the dog? He's like, I don't know
Yo,
what you're
I seen a meme where they used the Spider-Man 3. You'll get your dog when you fix this damn door. Like,
I
oh my
like I like how he's drinking. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, that stupid dog, stupid. He's like, what? He's like, what? But he's falling for this terrible trap that he placed on him.
Yeah.
And I like that Nicholas Holtman. He's so good in this movie. He
Yeah.
does such a great job. He's playing Lex Luthor, man. He does such a great job. Um, so now we see like a whole bunch of news footage, and they're like, "Oh, he's a menace. What's going on?"
Right.
And we get that scene where it's like nighttime, and we see them fighting this thing in the background.
Yes.
And he comes in, and he's sitting there, and Lois is like, "You have a dog?" And I kind of like how he was looking for the dog. He wasn't fighting that thing. He was looking for crypto,
Yeah.
which I found kind of funny. Um,
I'm sorry to cut you off. I love the scene. I love the scene because
I love the conversation.
yes,
I don't love.
the fact that Lois is us because we're looking outside like, bro, that's outside and you're sitting in a chair. Like, what the hell are you doing? And then the fact that he says, "Oh, they got it. I don't need to interfere. They can handle that." And Lois, you can see in her peripheral, she's probably looking outside like, "Well, I think you should be out there. You don't need to be sitting right here." Um,
I mean, I get that, but to me it was quiet too many times
yeah,
because it was like, oh, dialogue, silence, because they want us to pay attention to them fighting. I'm like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not funny.
yeah.
It's sure it's funny once, but then they do it like 3 times, and I'm like, okay, what's the joke?
Right.
Is the joke
Well,
that he's not fighting them?
yeah,
I
the
get
joke
it.
is that he's Superman and he probably can take that thing out with by one blow, and he doesn't. He's worried about finding the dog. But to me, I like that though because and that he also says like, well, it's not my dog. It's more like of adopted thing. That's probably one of the main reasons I have to go get this dog. It's not mine. Like I have to go save him. Um, also he put him in a predicament. Like shit, he got taken from me, so I have to go find him. Um, I love this. To me, that's another thing. Why I think why David Cornsweet did a great job. That's why I wanted to read. Like he really embodied the character. He really did.
Yeah. Um. So he says, "Oh, I'm gonna turn myself in," which was fine. We haven't talked about him. We saw glimpses of Frank Grillo as General Rick Flag,
Yeah,
which
supposedly Rick Flag's father, right?
yeah, the same character from Creature Commandos, despite him not having gray hair.
Right.
Um, which I like that Frank Grillo joked about that. He was like, "The next time I show up in live action, I'll have gray hair. I promise." Um,
He voices him in that show
yeah.
too, right? Yeah.
hmm So Luther wants to incorporate like these Lex bots. I forgot what they were called, Lex Core, something like that. And the government is like, well, it doesn't seem like the greatest idea, but at the same time, we have this metahuman running around, so maybe.
Right.
So he ends up turning himself in, and they lock him in the pocket universe, and then Lex is like, "Oh, hello," I'm like, "Yeah, I got you, bitch."
Mhm.
Um, and then Lois, she's like, "Oh, like I think I'm kind of onto him. He's kind of doing something. I don't know." And goes to Green Lantern, which this is another one of those like things where it's like, yeah, this world is a lived-in world. It's like, yeah, Lois Lane can just walk into a room with Green Lantern in it and just
Mhm.
start talking to them like it's
This
nothing.
the building that they use for they call it the Hall of Justice.
Yeah,
This
all
is
the
this
justice.
this is in the actual building in Ohio. You
Yeah.
can go. You can go here, which is
Which I did like the first time I saw it. They showed Hall of Justice. Everyone was like, "Hey!" um, so they're trying to figure out what's going on, and Lois is giving them crap. And Hawk Girl and Green Lantern are like, "Yeah, we're not doing that. That I don't care, bro." And Mister Terrific's like, "All right, screw it. I'll go with you. Who cares?" He's like, "Let's just go check it out, see what happens." And I like that. I like that Mister Terrific is like, Man, I don't really care as long as it helps people. Whatever. As long as it helps people and I get to look cool doing it."
right.
um, then we get. Well, actually, I kind of missed something. Jimmy Olsen.
Right.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Olsen has the most outrageous side plot in this whole movie,
Yes. He has a
and it
connect that he finds out where Superman is.
and
He's like,
it
I'm going to
shouldn't
need my.
work.
Yeah, it shouldn't though. It
And
does
it's
though.
hilarious.
It does though.
He has this woman. I forgot what her name is. But
It's Lex Luthor's girlfriend.
yeah, well, yeah, I know that. But he has this girl under the contact name of like Mutant Toes or something,
Hmm.
and I was expecting it to be like a DC character or something,
Yeah.
because I was like, who calls a woman Mutant Toes? That's terrible. um, but that was his source, and he finds out like Superman may or may not be in a pocket universe. So he tells that to Lois, and then Lois goes to Green Lantern. So they get in the ship with Mister Terrific, and they go fly to this little prison thing they have on a beach. I feel like there's something before this beach scene.
No,
Is
it's
it
it's
the scene? Is it the scene where he kills the Hala dude?
I don't think so. Cause we
No,
spent
that
time
happens
we
before the
spent
beach.
time with Superman in the Pocket universe. We find out he's put into a cell with
Metamorpho.
Metamorpho, yeah, and he's his arm is kryptonite, and he's literally like I guess he's dying. And we find out that his Metamorpho son has been taken from him.
Baby Joey, little
Yeah,
Joey,
we see
baby Joey.
his son has been taken from him, and I guess that's the crutch to for him to do what he needs to do. Um, but
That
there's
kid
something
looks
else.
like a fucking chicken jockey.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. There is something missing, but we can
Well, no,
keep moving.
he kills the food cart dude.
Right, 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 right.
So
Okay.
this scene was crazy because he pulls this dude up. He's like, "Oh yeah, this guy was helping you," and I did like how in that scene where he was helping him, he was like, "Oh, okay, so you made your choice."
Mhm.
So he has this guy. He's playing Russian roulette with him. I thought the scene was gonna go longer. Now, second shot, boom! I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, and Lex was kind of surprised as well. He's like, "Oh shit, sorry."
He's like, "Oh, well, that was quick. I'll bring back somebody tomorrow. It's all right. It's all good." Um,
The fact that Lex is using this pocket universe as a jail for just random people.
Bro, we haven't talked about it. The fucking monkeys, bro.
Yeah,
Super shit. He has monkeys being his online trolls.
yeah. He's like the
That
Wicked
is
Witch.
hilarious.
He's like the Wicked Witch.
That is fucking hilarious. I love it. It shows how idiotic some of you are when you come. Oh, this isn't my Superman.
Yep, yep.
Restore the Snyderverse.
It's James Gunn is talking about the people that talked about him during the whole time he was going through his old getting fired from Disney.
Did you see? Did you see that dumb shit? Some group on Twitter they rented out a van or something. I don't know. They were trying to run a campaign for Restore the Snyderverse or something, and they had
Mm.
like this van going through the streets of wherever these losers live, and they had like a QR code. It's like, oh, sign a petition to restore the Snyderverse. Nobody fucking scanned it. They were probably all like, "What the fuck is this? What are you idiots doing?" These losers are the worst, like, community on the face of America, bro. Please touch grass, bro. Do anything other than coming on Twitter. Restore the Snyderverse. Give me the air cut. You guys are fucking losers. You're
Yeah, we're
losers.
never getting the air cut, guys.
You're
That's over.
fucking losers,
That's over
bro.
with, bro. That's over with. We got
I
the
know.
we got Zack Snyder's Justice League. Just be happy with that. That's it.
Exactly,
That's it.
bro. You're losers, bro. You're never gonna get what you want. Shut up.
Yep. That's it.
Enough. Oh, sell it to Netflix. No. Enough. Move on. So, I think we get this is the beach scene with Mr. Terrific.
Yes.
This was cute. It's weird to call this scene like cute, but like the song makes it feel that way.
Yeah.
But it's a fun little
It's a nice
action
sequence.
scene. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Using those little orbs to, take out all the guys, and he's got a force field around Lois, and he's out here just dogging all these people, just annihilating everyone.
It was fun. It was a really cool action scene, and I was like, yeah, I'm a Mr. Terrific fan now. So he finds a way to get into the Pocket Universe, and he opens it, and he's looking for Superman. And Metamorpho's like, oh, you said theoretically you could save baby Joey. Is that true? He was like, yeah, probably. And he goes, okay. So he takes the kryptonite away, and I like how they did the him getting sick with kryptonite, because it wasn't just my, I have a bad stomach. Oh,
Yeah.
kryptonite. It was fucking like burning him and
It was
shit.
yeah, it was making him look very icky, and I love that once he take it, like, why aren't you getting better? Like, well, I can't,
don't
I
know.
can't. It's taking a minute. I got to heal. He's
That
like,
was
I need the sun. He's like, oh, I can make the sun.
well, no, he doesn't
I'll
say
be
that. He's
fine.
like, oh, I could make something like equivalent.
Right, right.
And I do like how they don't explain how he knows all this shit, but he's like, oh, well, you take this element, this element, this
Right.
element. But I do like that was the second Superman mannerism where he's like, oh, why aren't you getting better? I took the kryptonite away. He goes, I don't know. I'm like, the man gets it. The man gets it. I tell you. So he makes this concoction and like hits him with it, and it gives him just enough power to break out. And we get this big action scene where they're like floating through like this digital river or something.
Mm-hmm.
That they say like, oh, if we fall in the river, it'll tear us apart. That doesn't happen.
Right.
So I don't know how true.
Theoretically, they really don't know what it does. They just
But
expect that.
he goes to fly, get the baby, gives it back to Metamorpho for a bit, and then he goes to find Crypto. And Crypto starts flying after Mr. Terrific's drones and eating them. I do think I enjoyed Crypto as the movie went on.
Yes.
But when it first started, I was like, this thing is annoying. But I think as the movie went on, I enjoyed Crypto more. So they get stuck in the river, and Superman uses his freeze breath to like fly back. I thought that was neat. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, that's something.
Use it a couple times. Could use it on a dog too. Which he did it so hard when a dog smacked. He smacked like a pole or something. Like, damn.
Yeah. Well, the fucking dog didn't want to move out the way, so
right. He kept telling him, move.
Stupid dog. I'm kidding. I love dogs. But yeah, he blows out of the black hole, which I was like, yeah, that's something he'd do in the cartoon. That's cool. So eventually they find their way out, and Superman is still really weak from the kryptonite, and he's like, oh, Mr. Terrific's like, oh, take him somewhere safe for a little bit. So they take him back home and they leave him in the bedroom where he can get the sun. And then Jimmy Olsen meets up with Lex Luthor's girlfriend, and she kind of reminded me of Harley Quinn a little bit.
Just a little.
It's like, I was like,
definitely was a ditzy woman. No, this is where they're having a conversation, right? Where they're having a
Yeah.
conversation on the phone. It's like, "Oh, I need information." He's like, "Oh, you said you will be together if we do
Well,
this,
no,
right?"
this is when they meet up in the alley first. They meet up in
That,
the alley first.
oh, so that happens after the fight with
Hmm.
Mister Terrific. Okay, I'm confused. I thought that was before.
Yeah, they meet up. They meet up in the alley, and she like just wants to be with him, and
Hmm.
it seems like they've only had one date.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, bro, what is Jimmy Olsen packing so much that you want?
Well, I hinted at earlier when he's at the Daily Planet and two girls are looking at him like just fawning over him, like this guy. Okay.
Hey, man, Jimmy Olsen is the GOAT.
Yeah, he
Listen,
got
at least Jimmy Olsen is a fucking character in this
for sure,
movie. He
for
didn't get
sure,
fucking shot in the head in 2 minutes.
for sure.
Um, so I'm gonna just kind of fuse those scenes together. Lex gets pissed that Superman gets out, so he spazzes on her and throws a fucking pencil at her leg. And
Right.
you hear like this. It sounded like it like went in her leg. I was like, "Damn! You know how hard you have to throw a pencil for that shit to do that?"
Yeah.
It's like, good lord. So she gets mad and goes into like a room or something,
Yeah. It's like a little closet.
and she calls him again and is like, "Oh, I'm gonna send you everything."
Terrible
And
place to hide because she
yeah,
definitely gets noticed.
Ultraman hears her and is
Yeah.
like, "Oh, come here," uh, and sends her. So she sends a bunch of images to him, and it just looks like a bunch of selfies, which I thought was funny because he was
Yeah.
like, "Damn it!" He's like, "Come on, bro." And I like how Lois is looking at them,
She
and she
noticed what's
sees in the
behind her. Yeah.
background.
Yep.
Yeah, which I thought it was kind of cool that they did the same thing they did from the first original movie with Lex Luthor. It's like, oh, he just wants a piece of land to rule.
Right.
But I was like, that's fine. So start with small scale world domination, Lex Luthor, and then
Right.
I'm sure eventually we'll get him in the green and purple suit, wanting to, like, oh, I want robots everywhere. Which, oh shit, I don't know how that's gonna look. Him
Yeah.
in the Lex suit, I don't know
Yeah.
how
We'll
that's gonna
see. We'll see if we get that far.
look. So she's like, "Oh, we got it. Let's go. We're gonna go to the Daily Planet and write the article." And well, they have to figure it out first. So Superman wakes up. Crypto's on him. I thought it was cute. It was a cute little moment. Crypto for once is not being a terrible dog.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we get a great scene with him and his dad, Pa Kent. Thought
Mm-hmm.
this was great. It was a
See
great
me
little
get in the
scene.
trailer.
Yeah, it was a great little scene. Um, then it shows on the news that the war that he tried stopping is not stopped.
Right.
Now this I've
Yeah.
seen
I was
this.
like, how do you feel about this whole war thing going on? Like, how did you feel about that? Because I felt like that was also put on the back burner.
It was, but I saw somebody say this and I kind of agreed with it. If I can find the tweet, because it was a good point and it kind of put me at ease with the whole thing. At first, I was kind of annoyed by it because I was like, well, then what was the point of all that?
Yeah,
You
that was,
know,
you got this. I don't know if the guy was Russian or I forgot what ethnicity he was, but the other guy that's working with Lex, I can't think of his name, but he's like some popular prince or something. He's a king or something like that, or he's the president of some other country.
yeah. So somebody said the point of that scene, because somebody was like, "Oh, it's weird that Superman doesn't show up," and the guy said the point of the scene is that Superman not only inspires hope in people, but that he inspires other people to do the right thing. He's the reason those other heroes act, and it's better that he's not the only person they have to rely on now.
Right, exactly.
I was like, okay. I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't think Green Lantern helped because of Superman. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure he was kind of like, yeah, let me not be a dick. Um, so his parents are like, oh, the war is going on, like you gotta go help them. And then Mr. Terrific is like, no, we need you here because there's a rift going on in the city. It's about to get crazy.
Right.
So he flies to Metropolis and he gets ambushed by Ultraman and Engineer. and we get this little fight in the stadium with him and Mr. Terrific. Thought this
That
was
was
cool.
yep, that was shot in the progressive field. That's all I'm saying. Progressive field.
This is a cool little fight. I like how Gunn did all the action in this movie is very good. I thought that the way he filmed the action was really cool.
Yes.
It looked like a more stylized version of the action in Man of Steel, because like in Man of
Yes.
Steel they follow them a lot when they're flying and stuff, but this movie really follows, like it follows
Hmm.
all the tracking shots of them flying and stuff. Um, and then eventually it turns into a 1v1 between him and Ultraman. Um, and Lex is just, I say Ultraman is kicking his ass. Lex is kicking his ass, really.
Right.
Um, and he's hitting him with all these combos and shit. And then they eventually do this like injustice super move to where they end up in like the sewers or something. And then we
Hmm.
get the reveal that Ultraman is him.
Right.
It's a clone of
It's
him,
a
which
cologne. Yep.
at first I was kind of bothered by that because I was like, clone, really? But then
Hmm.
my friend was like, "No, Ultraman is him in the comics." So I was like, "Oh, okay." And who knows? This could lead to them doing Bizarro,
Yep.
which I'd be cool with. It'd be cool to see Bizarro. In this world that he's created, I think Bizarro would fit like a glove.
For
You know,
sure.
I think them doing something like Doomsday would be very dark for the world
Yeah.
that he's made so
Yeah.
far. You know, I think something like Bizarro or even Lobo would fit way better. You know,
Yes.
which we're getting Lobo in the Supergirl movie. Um, but yeah, we get the clone. He's like, oh yeah, despite him being as powerful as you, he's probably stupider than you. He's an idiot. Um, so we get this fight, and he's still kicking his ass. And then he calls Crypto, and him and Crypto tag team him, and they blow him into a black hole. I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool. Did you have issues with him being a clone or nothing?
No, I mean, when it got, I kind of feel how you feel like because it got revealed that Lex had his DNA. That's how he's able to do the things he's been doing. Like to me, it makes sense when you go back and watch it because if you watch him in that gold suit, he shoots a laser beam like Superman. Like he can fly like Superman. So if you just go back and watch the movie over again, it would make sense that the guy is a clone because he's also really strong like Superman. So I had no issues with him being a clone. I liked the fight that they had with one another. Like I said, now it makes more sense that he will create something to beat him, and that's why he's studying him so much. That because he needs something as powerful as Superman to beat him. So I didn't mind this at all. I thought the fight was cool. I think visually it looked great. I love the fact that he beat him by talking about what he did said earlier. If we get shot through the black hole, we're done, and he does that exact thing to the clone. So I mean, I love this in this sequence.
Yeah. I love that everyone's memeing on the scene where Lex is like 1A, 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 1A. I was like, I don't know. It's Lex being Lex.
Yes.
Um. So the Justice Gang goes to stop this war, and Metamorpho helps them out. Thought this was a cool little scene. I like how Green Lantern shows up. He's like, "Sorry, kid, Superman's not available. You got me."
Right.
He's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you gotta upgrade." um, Hawk Girl goes after this minister and I guess kills him.
Yeah. She drops him from a certain point that he would not survive. So yeah, he's dead.
I was like,
He's DUD. They don't care about casualties.
it's like I would have been interested in that conversation, but all right.
No conversation.
Um, so Superman goes back to Lex Luthor, and I do like this is probably like the funniest scene in the movie to me. Lex is like, "Oh man, we got to get away." Like the rift is spreading apart. He's like, "Fuck, we got to get away."
Yeah.
And he sees Superman flying in. He tries running away, and Superman busts through the window and tackles him. I was like, "That was fucking
Too
hilarious."
slow. Too slow.
That was hilarious. Then we get probably the best scene in the movie where Lex Luthor is like, "Oh, like, like what are you? Like, you're just a thing. You're not even a human." And Clark, I'm gonna butcher the whole thing, but like, basically, he tells him like, "I'm no, see, that's where you're wrong. I'm
Yeah.
just as human as you are." He's
Yeah.
like, "I get up every day. I put one foot in front of the other, not knowing what's gonna happen." And I'm like, Damn, that's my
Yeah,
Superman, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's my Superman.
A
Damn
lot, a
it.
lot, a lot of people are showing this scene all over Instagrams. Like this is what makes him embody the character and nail the character of Clark Kent and Superman.
That's
Because
my
he tells him straight up like I'm the same as you. Just because I have all this power and I can fly from point A to point B, don't mean I don't have feelings. I don't care about things, and I have emotions just like you. I'm just like you. And of course, Lex would say, "No, fuck that. You're an alien." And then
And then Crypto proceeds to beat his ass.
he gets Loki'd. He gets Loki'd, and
He's like,
he
no,
gets
no, stop it, no, no, Crypto. Um. So what happens? What happened? Oh yeah, there's like this whole thing going on with Lois. So they're up in the air, just trying to. Essentially, they're up in the air trying to avoid dying, just to put out an article.
right.
Which we haven't talked about Perry White. Perry White. I needed so much more of
Yeah,
him.
and I totally forgot he's actually in the little pod with them. He's there,
Yeah.
because they
Well,
all
they're
grab
all
it
in
like,
there.
"Hey, we need to go out and do this thing," and they're all like, "It's just so random that he's there." But yeah, I agree, we needed more of him. Not
Which
that
I mean, what a
much
year he's
interaction.
having, because he was just in Thunderbolts 2 months ago.
Exactly, doing
But
both
he's
franchises.
great, man. He was so great. I like it. Again, it's the little things. Like they're in the pod and he's reading the article. He's like, "Cool, it's good. Post it." He kind of reminded me of J. Jonah Jameson, only not
Yeah,
as mean. Which maybe that's their intent. I don't know, but
right,
we need more of him. Whoever needs to hear this, we need more of him,
for
please,
sure.
because he is so good. Just him sitting there with the cigar, while he's doing that. I'm like, bro, that's so cool.
Yeah,
Like we needed more of him. So eventually, Mr. Terrific, I like how the dude was like, "Oh, let me help you. I can help you." He's like, "I don't
I
need
don't
your,
need
oh,
your
I'm
help.
goddamn Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wish the F bomb would be used right here because I feel like it would have been like, "I don't need your fucking help."
I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific." I loved it. Uh, so they fix everything and they, you know, I don't remember if Lex gets arrested or not. I think he does.
He does get
Oh yeah,
arrested
he
because
does. Yeah,
he
yeah,
gets put in the back of like an army truck or something like that. Which I don't believe he will get arrested. He'll probably just get transported to another place and he'll get off. He's not going to be locked
yeah.
up.
And I do like this scene where they show Rick Flag and this random dude. They're like, "Oh, that's cool." They're embracing him. He's like, "But they kind of run shit now." And I was like,
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
"That's
then you get
interesting."
the look of, Frank Grillo's looked in the trailer like, oh, we might have fucked up. We might have fucked up.
And this may or may not lead to world's finest with Batman,
Yeah, I can see that
because
coming.
who knows if Batman is going to side with Superman being a leader.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
see.
know,
We'll
but I don't
see.
know. It may be different because we're probably gonna get like an older Batman. So I
Yeah.
feel like by this point, Batman's gonna be like, "Listen, bro, I already got enough problems with my fucking ninja son that doesn't know how to act,
Right.
and
Right.
his mother who's a weirdo, and my father-in-law who's a literal demon. Like, I got enough problems already. As long as you don't blow shit up, I don't care."
On top of dealing with a crazy ass clown that's trying to
Yeah,
destroy
that
me
too.
every day.
That too. Um, But I thought that line was interesting. I was like, he definitely put that line in there for a reason. I don't know what that may be leading to. But that was
Right.
interesting. So we go back to, oh no, we get a cute scene with him and Lois, and I do like how Perry's on the outside. It's like, so how long they been going out? It's like that's kind of funny.
Yeah. And still, no one gets. Well, the glasses. We didn't talk about that.
Huh?
They say the reason why we can't see it
Yeah,
is something with the glasses. It has a function why we can't see he's a different person. And
and I
I
did.
love this because that's the one question we always ask. How can no one tell that he's Superman? Because the glasses has that function. It's like Ready Player One. What they say, right?
Yeah,
Cart clink glasses. It will change your disguise without changing your appearance. Like, oh, that's awesome.
yeah. I also like how Green Lantern knows. He's explaining this.
Yeah,
He's like, oh,
that's
so
who explains it. That's who
he's like,
explains it. Yeah.
oh, so he's Clark Kent too. He's like, and Lois is like, oh my god, why does he trust everybody? um, so After all that, they go back to the Fortress of Solitude and they're trying to fix everything. And I think he fixes one of the robots.
Yeah.
And the robot is like, "Oh, why can I get a name?"
Right.
He's like, "Oh, four is a name." It's like, "Yeah," but not that. I forgot what the name that he gave
It's like
himself. He's like, "Yeah."
Bob or something or
He's
David.
like,
It's
"Yeah."
something like David or Bob
Like,
or
this is
something.
a name too.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we hear "doof,"
Yeah.
and I immediately knew. I said, "Oh shit!" I forgot what there was a line before she came in, but I was like, "Oh," which I had an inkling that she was gonna show up, but before I saw the movie, I was
If
like,
I'm not mistaken, I think it's been confirmed. It's been public knowledge that she shows up in this movie.
"Well, yeah." Well,
I think
did it
most.
help that fucking DC was like, "Oh, it's been 2 days since everyone saw this movie. Let's show what she looks like." It's like,
Yeah.
what? What? Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. You
They,
did the
fi-
same shit with Thunderbolts,
they
bro.
figured everyone that saw it the first 2 days, they
No,
care.
but that
Anyone
shit.
else don't care. But no,
No,
I
bro.
agree with you. But I'm saying that's probably what they're thinking is that
I don't
okay.
know where this mindset came from. That shit
I
is
agree.
terrible,
I
bro.
agree.
They did the.
Just imagine when Endgame came out and that Sunday they revealed the third act, revealed the portal scene. I would have been
I can
pissed.
only imagine. I
I would have
doubt
been
he's. I
pissed.
doubt he's avoided it at this point. But John still has not seen this movie. He's probably seen what Supergirl looks like already. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I hate that. I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
Stop doing that, bro. Don't assume everyone saw this movie from Thursday to Sunday, bro.
Right.
Stop it. This shit is annoying. But we get Supergirl. She walks in. Millie Alcock, Targaryen herself.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, I love Millie Alcock so much. I love this casting. I think the suit has grown on me. When I saw that her suit did not look like when I saw that her suit looked like his, I was initially annoyed,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't mind it.
Yeah, she's
I'm
gonna
like,
get another suit in her movie. They're not gonna use that same suit throughout the entire movie. She will get a suit upgrade for sure.
I don't know. Maybe they will.
We'll see.
But I thought she looked great. Obviously, mm. Um, she comes in and she's like, "Oh, why'd you move the door?" He's like, "I didn't move the door. It's right there."
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "Where's my dog?" And then Crypto lunges over. I said, "Oh!" It's like, so that's what he meant by adoptive situation. It's not
Mm-hmm.
his dog.
Right.
And I saw like my dad. He didn't like that they changed that. He was like, "Why? Why? No, that was never a thing. It was always his dog." I was like, "Who cares?"
Yeah, but also it makes sense why he's wearing a cape, why he has the little bedazzled thing he has on. It's like only a girl would put a cape on him. A guy would never put a cape on his fucking dog. So
I mean, Crypto had a cape on him
I
with Superman.
I know, but I mean, if we're looking at it, if I have a dog, he's not wearing a cape. No, fuck that.
I don't know, man. If it were possible for my dad's dog to be wearing a cape, trust me, he'd be wearing a cape.
We're not wearing a cape.
Just saying.
No,
Just saying.
that's like would you put a sweater on your dog?
If it's cold.
No, my dog's not wearing a sweater. No, that's a girl thing to do to put a sweater on a dog.
If the dog has to go for a walk in 30-degree weather, you're not putting the jacket on the dog?
The dog is fine.
What?
The dog is fine.
That's
And
terrible.
mind you, I've walked a dog in cold weather.
That's terrible. You gotta wear a sweater when you go outside in 30-degree weather. The
I know.
dog don't have to wear a sweater when it's 30 degrees. That's
It's
terrible.
Okay. It's okay.
That's terrible.
Tell that to the wolf that be outside in 30-degree weather.
That's a wolf, not a dog. There's a difference.
No, it's okay.
A wolf is a rabid animal.
They got fur. They got fur. We don't have fur around us.
That's terrible.
We have bare skin.
Anyway, the dog starts attacking Supergirl, which I'm like, okay, I guess this is fine. Essentially, Supergirl's a drunk.
Well, I don't think she's. I don't think she's a drunk. In my assessment, she wants to experience the life of a party girl, not a party girl. She wants to have fun. She can't get drunk on this planet. And Superman says it. Well, she has to go to a place that has a red sun because she can't experience how it is here because she can't get drunk. She's too powerful for that. So she goes to other places to party. That's what they explain.
Well, I don't know. Point is, I don't think this was a very good scene. I don't like Supergirl coming in and calling Superman a bitch. That I'm like, that's not. No, I don't like that. So I don't know. We got the first poster for her movie today, which is cool. I hope they know what they're doing with her movie. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I'm so excited for her movie. You know, I think it's very cool that this movie ends with it leading right into her movie. That's
Right.
cool.
Right.
You know, oh, we didn't talk about we got a Peacemaker cameo in this movie too,
Yes. Yes.
which is
Yes.
cool.
She's
Um,
on the talk show that's been shown throughout the entire.
which when that happened, I said the timeline is weird because Peacemaker is not a hero in at the
Right.
end of season 1 of
So this has
Peacemaker.
to take place after Peacemaker season 2.
I guess if he's on a fucking talk show, I
Yeah.
guess.
This has to take place
I
afterwards.
was like, I mean, unless the world gets knowledge that he defeated White Dragon and all this stuff,
Right.
and maybe they're like, oh, maybe he's not so bad. I don't know. Or maybe Amanda Waller does that. Maybe Amanda Waller, is using him as like the new puppet for her or something.
I
I
can
don't.
see
I
that.
don't. I
See
don't know.
that.
Maybe. But the movie ends with him being on this chair. I guess he's gonna recharge, and he's like, "Oh, put on the footage of his parents. It soothes him." And we see the footage of him living his life as a child.
Right.
I loved it.
I loved it. Yeah.
I
It's like,
loved it,
okay,
man.
this is what he should have been doing the whole time. Like,
I loved it. I thought it was so sentimental. The second time I watched it, I had tears in my eyes. I'm like, I love it, and it just credits. I loved it. I loved it, man. I thought it was such a cool way to end the movie. And yeah, that was it. The mid credit scenes weren't anything to write home about. They were cute, but they weren't setting up anything.
nothing setting up. Yeah, I've seen them on YouTube, and a lot of people talk about how they're shit, they're trash. I'm like,
No, I
well,
don't think they're trash. It's
yeah,
just
we're
they don't set anything up.
yeah, we're expecting that, but I don't think this movie has to do that. We know Supergirl's coming. And I don't know. I think at this point, I know you guys, we are in a living universe, and we want to set up things for the next film. But I mean, I think aren't we past that already? Like, it's not exciting anymore to see. I'm waiting for the post credit scene to see what happened next. We're already going to see it. Like, it doesn't matter at this point. So, I know we want that, but I mean,
I think for this movie, I could let it slide. But like,
yeah, for sure.
you know, there was a time in the MCU where the post credit scenes were just garbage,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like the MCU. It was a universe where the post credit scenes were used to set up the next project, and then they
right.
stopped doing that, and it got annoying
Yeah,
because it's like, why am I sitting through these fucking credits if
yeah.
it doesn't matter?
It was more of a gag other than setting up for the next
This
installment.
this movie I'm kind of fine with because we got Supergirl at the very end,
Right.
and it leads right into her.
I think what you told me, you said you wish that should have been the post credit scene. That should have just been the post credit scene. But you could have technically ended the movie with them kissing, and it could have went black, and then boom. Then you do the post credit scene with him being at the Fortune Solitude, and she comes in.
Well, no,
But,
because I would still want the scene where they play the footage of.
right, because that is after. Okay, yeah, you're right then. Yeah, never mind then. So yeah, but yeah,
But yeah, that is Superman. Like I said, I I really really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it the second time more than the first time. Again, it's not perfect, but I thought it got a lot right. It got a lot right. And for once, and I can't even tell you how long, it feels like finally we had direction with DC. We're going in a direction.
yeah.
The one thing I am a little nervous about is that we're getting we're getting a lot of projects that have different tones and vibes that are
And
all
I,
in the
I think
universe,
James Gunn came out and said that he wants these movies to be different. He doesn't want
which
the
I'm fine
same
with.
tone for all these movies. But to me, I just want good stories. If you want to give me characters that we don't know, that obviously we know who Clayface is and stuff like that. But if you give me a movie about Clayface, make the story good. That's all I care about. I don't care about it being the biggest thing ever. Just give me a good story. Give me a good story
Which
about a character
they
that
they
we
put
can
out
learn about.
they put out some details about that movie, and what I heard, I said, yeah, that's exactly what I want.
Yeah, just
Um,
give me something within this new DCU. Just give me some good stories at this point. Yeah, we want things connected, but don't. And all I think James Gunn also knows. Don't rush it. Let us live with these characters before you do the big grand scale thing. Like, if we all are leading into World's Finest, make it make sense. Don't just do it just to do it. Make it make sense. You know, but yeah,
Yeah, he said that the plan wants to be like two live action movies and two shows
yeah,
per year, and I think one animated movie per year too. Which
okay. And that's not including like the
things that
offshoot DC, like that straight, what we get DVD, Blu-ray wise,
I don't know. I wish they would tone down the shows. I think Marvel has killed any interest I have in seeing superhero shows.
for sure.
You know,
Unless
unless they
I'm
go
like the
back.
penguin,
Yeah, I unless they go back to what Marvel was originally doing, which was using these shows to progress things, which I think is true because he's put a heavy emphasis that season two of Peacemaker is important and that it's going to tease like their big event thing that they're doing,
okay.
which I
Guess
hope it's
we'll have to
true.
wait and see. Yeah, I'll wait and
I hope
see.
it's true. But yeah, man, I really don't have anything else to say. I really
Same.
enjoyed the movie. I'm looking forward to watching it again. We both got
Yep.
the Steelbook
We already
pre-order.
pre-ordered it. Yeah,
Um,
once I saw, it, I said, "Yeah, I have to get it." Well, you can get it. Obviously, I don't know if I think if I'm not mistaken, it's sold off. It's sold out. It's sold out on Amazon, right? It's not on Amazon anymore, right?
yeah, you can get it on Groove and save
Groove, yeah.
20% off.
You get it on Groove, and you might get it early, which I should have just went with Groove first instead of Amazon, but I was just so ready to get it. So
I mean, you still can. It's not like they charge you for it.
right, right, but it's okay. I already got it pre-ordered, and I'm not about to cancel and then I tried pre-order on Groove and it's gone. So I got my pre-order. I'm fine with that. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys want to talk about Superman, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. You can spoil it. We don't care. This is a spoiler talk, so you can go ahead and spoil it in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and move on to our last topic of the day. And of course, we're a physical media collector. You guys can see it in the background, all the physical media. So yeah, I have one thing. That's about it. So I don't know how many things you have. How many you have?
I have several that you can
Okay.
just do.
I'll go first as I got the only thing. And of course, I finally got House of the Dragon season 2, which I'm very upset with this slip because if you guys can see, it is dented because,
Oh, me and
yes,
you have that in common. Wait till I
yes,
show you my shit.
yes, I'm very upset with that, but it is what it is just because of the way they made the slipcover, I guess. I guess it was too, you get the little cards in there and everything, but I guess this was too small. They didn't expect it to be as big as it is. It doesn't fit. So that's my main issue with this. But I'm glad to have it on 4K finally. I've been really waiting to buy this because after thinking about it, this season I don't really like it. I mean, there's certain elements I like about it, but I mean, I really didn't enjoy it. So yeah, House of Dragon season 2.
All right, Prime Day, baby. Other than one thing in here, this was all stuff from Prime Day. I
You
took
got you
advantage.
got everything.
hmm I
Okay.
took advantage and got some stuff that it was decently priced, and I'm like, yeah. And I wanted this stuff with slipcovers, so that's why I got it. First thing I got was Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. I think this was like 13 or something.
I still need
Yeah,
that too.
my slipcover. There's dent there,
Uh,
and there's a dent there.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Amazon. And that's not even the worst of it. Wait till I show you the next thing I got. Um, yeah, I actually really enjoyed this in the theater. I haven't watched it since the theater, but I walked into it with very low expectations, and as someone that doesn't love the first Beetlejuice, I actually loved this one. I don't know how that would go on a rewatch, but I really like this one. I know a lot of people were not
That,
overly fond of it,
that
but
was me and my wife watched it, and that was just like a
next I got the Lord of the Rings Battle War of the Rohirrim. So this is Strike Two with Amazon. You see that right there. Thanks, Amazon. Greatly
wow.
appreciate it. Um, I bought this because this was like 17, marked down from like 30, and I was like, it's not the worst price in the world. I haven't seen this movie. A Lord of the Rings movie came out in December. Nobody batted an eyelash.
Nope.
But yeah, I got it. I got it with another thing that I'll show you in a second. So I'll probably check it out after I go through. I plan on going through these pretty soon. Um, put this here. Next, I got Mother.
Hmm.
Mother. Um, I've wanted this 4K for a while.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, if you look up "fucked up" in the dictionary, that's this movie. There's not many movies that disturb me. This movie had my flabbers gasted, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is insane, and I love it. It's insane though. It's not for everybody, and I get it, but it's fucking crazy. It's so good. I love it. Next, my number three movie of last year, Nosferatu on 4K. Very excited to have this movie. I absolutely loved it in the theater. I actually was not a big fan of this slip, but looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I like it. It's cool. I like how it's all white. Yeah, this was excellent. Robert Eggers is 3 for 4 because I don't like The Lighthouse, but The Witch is great. Northman is great, and this was great. And they just announced he's doing a Wolfman movie, which is gonna be fucking awesome. Next, got Transformers One, baby. I've been holding off on this. I was actually wanting the steelbook, but then it sold out. So I was like, you know what? This is like $15 for Prime Day. I'm gonna just get it and call it a day. I loved this movie. This was amazing. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow because AJ is at that point in the franchise. I love this movie. It is a absolute war crime that this movie bombed, and that we're not getting another one. It's actually really sad because I really liked this movie. I thought it was fucking great. And whoever marketed this movie should be fired. This was not Prime Day, but this was a new release, baby. Sinners on 4K Steelbook. My favorite movie of 2024 so far. Five. Um, Absolutely love this movie. I'm so excited to watch it again. I love this Steelbook. And I seen a couple people, oh, Sinners is overhyped. I don't give a shit, man. I love this fucking movie. It was awesome. And the last thing I got, this was the last purchase for Prime Day. Got The Hobbit, the 4K trilogy.
Nice.
This went down to $36, and I said that is a perfect price for these movies. I do have the Lord of the Rings trilogy already. And I've been hesitant on buying these movies because I've seen them all once. I don't remember them, and they don't have the best reputation. But 36 for this, which is normally like 70 or something,
Yeah.
that was a steal. Which is normally what Prime Day is normally known for. Box sets, nothing but box sets going on sale.
Right.
So yeah, I will be giving these a watch relatively soon. So then I can say, hey, I watched all the Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings movies on 4K. That's it. That is all I got.
Awesome. 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 So yeah. Updates.
So I put a review for Superman on my page. Go check that out if you have not already. Um, Next week, we'll be doing a live watch along for the '05 Fantastic Four because it is finally the release of Fantastic Four. I'm very excited for Fantastic Four. First steps.
This month is flying.
You know what, man? I'm not complaining because it's next week and we already got Fantastic Four. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
complaining.
we've been talking about this month since the beginning of the year. It's like, god damn, we're flying through it.
Um, and also on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, me and AJ will be doing a watch along for Happy Gilmore because Happy Gilmore 2 comes out next week. Even though I think that movie looks fucking horrendous, I wanted to do a watch along for the first Happy Gilmore because Happy Gilmore is a banger. I love
That's
that.
random.
Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll probably make the streams for August sooner rather than later. August is going to be kind of a weird and wacky month because we have, without giving too much away, we have a Predator movie and Mortal Kombat 2 coming out in October. And as you guys know, spooky season runs around like crazy on Nerd Talk. We ain't doing fucking Mortal Kombat watch alongs in October.
Right.
So you guys will see what we're doing in August. But basically, a lot of the stuff that we would be doing in October, we're doing it in August because August is a fairly dead month. So we were like, well, we'll just do the watch alongs we're supposed to do in August, October. We'll do them in August since there's time. So don't be surprised when you see like, hey, shouldn't y'all be doing this watch along in 2 months? Like, no, bitch, we're doing it now.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes, sir. No updates this way. I got nothing for you. Nothing for you right now. Just go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe. Trying to hit 400 subscribers, so you guys can help us out with that. We will love that for sure. The goal is to hit 500. If you know,
Let's
you know.
say the goal for 350. is spooky season in October, and the goal
Yep.
for 400,
By the
if
end of the
not
year,
the end of the year, well, by the end of January next year, 500
I'll take it.
or
I'll take it.
well, no, 400,
Yeah,
400,
400 by the end of the year. I'll take that for sure.
not bad
For
at
sure.
all.
For sure. That should be enough time. So, like I said, if you guys go ahead and share the channel, go ahead and tell your friends, go come check us out on Nerd Talk. A certain someone will be popping back in on certain days next month. Will be awesome as well. If you know, you know. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. Follow us on Instagram at NerdTalk.Official as well. Follow Tyler on Instagram at Mind of a Nerd Reviews. And check me out, Alex Thomas Reviews on Instagram as well. So, yeah, hope you guys have a good night. And we're out on this one, you guys. Peace out.